counts of first-degree murder for the 7 people who died in the rooftop attack. More from ABC's Aaron Katersky.
In a community of 30,000 with limited police resources, they were deployed as best as the department felt they could. They're not going to be able to guard every rooftop like the one that Cremo allegedly climbed up using a fire escape ladder to open fire. They were very quickly, though, since they were there, able to gather eyewitness descriptions and recover the weapon. That's what ultimately led them to Cremo, and they were able to track him down within hours.
Gas prices are falling. The national average around 9 cents lower than it was last week. This is ABC News. Pressure growing on British Prime Minister Boris Johnson to step down after 2 key ministers resigned within minutes of each other.
Despite ever vocal and more strident calls, the British Prime Minister says he has no plans to step down. Day after 2 senior members of his cabinet resigned, saying they'd lost confidence in him, Johnson spoke in Parliament.
The job of a Prime Minister in difficult circumstances when he's been handed a colossal mandate is to keep going, and that's what I'm going to do.
Many here now say it's no longer a matter of will Boris Johnson leave, but rather when. Tom Rivers, ABC News, London.
Mourning in South Africa. A funeral today for the teens who all died several days ago at a nightclub. 21 passed away, but so far investigators still haven't figured out what killed them. The victims ranging in age from 17 to 13. A fast-growing wildfire east of Sacramento forcing new evacuations. The Electra fire already burning through more than 4,000 acres. Rena Roy, ABC News.
Dell's Black Friday and July sale is here. Power productivity with a tech refresh, now with up to 45% off top-rated laptops like the XPS, along with our special deals on business desktops with Intel Core processors. Get big savings on the latest servers, storage, monitors, and more with free shipping and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Upgrade today by calling 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
You know when you see a great deal on the phone and then you find out it's not for you? Not at Verizon.
They just gave us all a new iPhone 13.
So we both got the same great deal.
Yep.
Get iPhone 13 on us with select trade-in and 5G unlimited plans for every customer. Current, new, everyone. To show the love. Only from Verizon. $799.99, 128 gigabytes only. Device payment purchase with new or upgrade smartphone line required. Less up to $800 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. 0% APR. Trade-in conditions apply.
KHOW News Time, 10:03.
A man is dead following a standoff in Aurora. The 51-year-old suspect set his room on fire at the Ranger Motel on Tuesday and then broke into a room next to his, chasing that guest out. Interim Police Chief Dan Oates says the man who was shot by Aurora officers was well known to law enforcement.
Suspect has a significant criminal history that includes a conviction for murder for which he was currently on parole.
3 officers fired at the unnamed suspect. Police recovered multiple knives that belonged to the man. Colorado funeral home owner has pleaded guilty to what prosecutors called an illegal body part scheme. Megan Hess was accused of selling body parts to medical and scientific buyers without the knowledge of the deceased's relatives and making hundreds of thousands of dollars. Denver is joining 4 other cities in a lawsuit against the state and Governor Polis. The lawsuit seeks to stop a new law that requires home rule cities to stop charging sales and use taxes on materials being used in public school construction. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by the Our American Stories podcast.
One accident right now causing a delay. It's on I-76, left lane blocked in both directions near Bar Lake between 144th Avenue and Bromley Lane. That's our biggest delay because of an accident. Now, construction slowing northbound I-25 into downtown from around the Logan Street Bridge all the way up through to Spear or so. So just expect delay. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, a good chance, 60% for afternoon thunderstorms, a high reaching 87. Tonight's low 60. And then afternoon thunderstorms as well tomorrow with highs in the upper 80s. Currently, it's 73. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, I'm Chris McLaughlin, 630 KHOW.
Giving up the stability of your job and creating your own business is not common. You'll hear the story of a young woman who quit her corporate job to begin making artisan keycaps. Be sure to listen to this week's edition of Our American Stories on the iHeartRadio app, on Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Got a car taking up space in your garage, not enough cash taking up space in your wallet? It's time to sell your car to the sharpest rides, no matter the year, make, or mileage. We will buy your car for cash and give you a fair professional appraisal. With every vehicle sold, the sharpest rides will make a donation to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. Walk out with cash in your pocket and a change made in the community. Don't have time to come in? Call us and ask DJ for a remote appraisal. Dial 303-9343-410 today.
At Allworth Financial, we're known as the retirement people, maybe even by people you know. I'm Allworth's co-founder, Scott Hansen, and for nearly 30 years, we've specialized in helping people make work an option, not an obligation. With an exclusive 7-step planning process, we deliver everything you need to confidently plan for tomorrow. And then we help make it a reality. We go all in on retirement planning so you can get the most out of yours. Meet with an Allworth advisor today at allworthfinancial.com.
Need some gas money? Listen every hour from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. weekdays for your chance to win $1,000 to fill your tank. It's Gas Money on 630 KHOW, sponsored by Guy Rees.
Brighten your home and save 10% on Benjamin Moore paint by joining the Guy Rees loyalty program. Stop by a store or go to GUIRYS.com to sign up today. Guy Rees, your neighborhood paint store since 1899.
It's the Dan Kapla Show. Afternoons 4 to 6.
Wednesday for evil, obviously at war with us, attacking in our schools, churches, parades, and beyond. How do we win this war? And what role are illegal drugs playing in fueling these mass killers? Join me at 4.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Gas Money. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Green. That's green. Enter it now at khow.com.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help a common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. We are here to solve problems, answer questions, take complaints, and make your life a little easier. I got to get my call screener up and see who's on the line. And today, by the way, I just need to say this up front. Today, we are giving away $500 in gas to anyone who scanned that money mailer coupon for 888 Heating. If you scanned it and filled out the entry form, you have a chance of winning $500 in gas. And I have, I'm going to do it. I have all of the entries. It's fun. I love doing this. So all of the entries, I'm going to have a random number generator and then pick one of them. And I'll do that in a little while, but I just want to put you alert here that we will be calling you live and you have to answer to get it or you're not going to get it. How about that? That's how strict we are. If you don't answer, you don't get it. So let's continue and talk to Jay Bretz, who's our guest today with Excel Roofing. And we have heard so many complaints about roofing contracts being signed, but the work not being started, not even started or completed. So what's the story there? I'd like to know what the story is, really. Why is that happening? Do we have supply issues? What's going on, Jay? I'm not talking about Excel. We didn't get, honestly, I'm not, and I don't mean to say that to stroke you. I mean it for sure. We never did. But we are getting people who sign contracts, and the roof may have been started. They never came back, or it wasn't even started. And they took a big payment up front from the insurance company. What's going on in the roofing business?
Yeah, Tom, there's multiple reasons why this happens. And I would say the first reason, there's just a bunch of screwballs in my industry. There is in the roofing business. And you guys know it. All of the roofing complaints over the years, it's kept you guys in.
But why bother signing a contract, getting a payment, and not coming back? Other than, what I mean by that is this. I don't think they're all crooks. So why are they not finishing the roof? I mean, let's take the ones that aren't crooks. There are crooks that will take the money and run and not do anything. But what about the ones that aren't crooks? And by the way, our number, if you want to get in on any conversation, is 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Okay, so
this is what I think about that. they're not crooks necessarily, but there's just a whole bunch of bad business people in the roofing business. They just don't know how to conduct their business correctly. And the other thing about that, as soon as the roofing company gets that payment up front, it takes away all of the motivation for the company to follow through on everything that they're supposed to do. So if a consumer doesn't pay any money until the job is finished, then the consumer they're
well, okay, and I'm you know what? I agree, because then you can't get hurt that way. You can't get hurt that way.
But don't you agree, Tom, if the customer's paid no money at all, it gives so much more motivation to the roofing company or any contractor.
Yeah, but then the only problem you have, and I understand this is not a big problem, but it happens sometimes. When they get insurance money, they want to keep it, but you've never had a problem getting paid, ever?
Oh, we have problems getting paid sometimes, but that's going to happen in every business.
It's the cost of doing business.
For the most part, so many of our customers are so good. 99-point-something% are very, very good. But these other companies that aren't following through on the job, yeah, there's some supply issues, but they shouldn't start the job until they're positive that they're going to have the shingles or whatever they need in order to complete the job. And if the customer doesn't pay any money up front and the roofing contractor keeps putting them off, then there's no harm, no loss.
303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. What's on your mind and how can we help you? That's what I'm asking. You can also text the show. I don't do this so much when I was doing it from my home studio, but since I'm here, I'll do that. You can text the show 57739 if you'd like. And all you have to do is put Tom in the subject line so I know it's for me. That's all you have to do. And then what we'll do is read it, or if you have a question, answer it. And that's 57739. Okay, 303-713-TALK is our number. Now, let's talk about issues relating to some of the things you should not do when a roofer knocks at your door. First and foremost, I'm going to tell you I would never choose a roofer that knocks on my door. Well, maybe that's not a good way to put it. I would never choose a roofer based on the knock at the door.
Absolutely, Tom.
Nor would I choose them at that moment, nor would I sign anything, not even what they say they need you to sign something to give them authorization to look at the roof. It is not true, is it?
It is not true. That's the biggie right there, that one you talked about. Anytime somebody's asking you to sign anything at your door, tell them no thanks. My brother's in the roofing business, and then call Excel Roofing. I mean, just don't do that. It's stupid to do that.
All right, now I'm going to take this. Do you have a first name on that caller? I'll just take them cold. Whoever it is, because I know Sue's had to step out. Okay, we have callers. Sue's had to step out, so I don't have anything on the screener. Karen? Karen, what's going on with you? What's happening?
My sister lives in Denver, and my brother passed away, and he had bought her a condominium at Windsor Gardens, and he paid cash for it, and the deed was put in both names, my sister's name and my brother's name. Joint tenants was right.
Okay, what is your sister's name? Her first name?
Wendy Montano.
Just her first name. What is it?
Wendy.
Okay, so Wendy lived in this, right? And but your brother did not live in it.
Correct. My brother lived in another unit at the same property.
Okay. But your brother was nice enough to buy her it, huh?
Correct. He paid cash for it.
Did you say it was
both of their names?
Did she say tenants in common, or how was it bought?
It was bought with joint tenancy with right of survivalship.
Okay. So that's when it goes to the one who survives, right? So Wendy, what's your brother's name? His first name?
Norbert.
Norbert? Okay.
Yes.
So Norbert is on the deed. Wendy passed away. You're the sister.
No, the other way. Wendy lives in the unit. My brother passed away.
Oh, my goodness. I'm sorry. Okay. So what do you need to know? How to get, because it's in her name now.
Yes, and she owns it completely, but the personal representative of his estate is in probate court trying to drag my sister's condo into the estate when it is totally and completely separate from the estate.
Well, it is not. It is not separate from the estate, unless it's in a. Is it in a trust?
No.
Okay, why don't you hold on? Listen, instead of us just speculating over and over, do me a favor. Hold on, and we're going to get you some help, okay? You called the show to get help. So we're going to get a professional estate attorney on to talk about this, all right? Hold on. Suze, let's try to get Blake. And by the way, did Garrett show up or not?
He's not here yet, Tom.
Oh, he said he's coming up the elevator. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll have Mark go out and meet him anyway. And what we'll do is and then when he gets here, we got to pick an hour to give that gas away. But I need to take a quick break, but we'll get Blake Harris Law on. Mark?
She is kind of right if she's correct on the tenancy part, because that would go right to that other person. It'd be like Susanna.
But does it necessarily stay out of the estate? I don't think so if there's money owed by the estate. Maybe it does. Maybe it does. But then
we'll find out.
Yeah, because, Mark, otherwise a beneficiary's deed would not be needed. I don't know. That's where I get confused. What's the difference then?
It says each has an undivided interest.
Right. That means they both own all of it.
Yeah.
And when one dies, the other one gets it.
That's right. But I don't know why it would go into the one that died's estate.
Okay. Okay. Maybe it doesn't. Let's talk to Blake Harris and find out for sure. We got more coming right up.
The Pod Meets World podcast takes you back in time to 1993 for the ultimate Boy Meets World rewatch. Join original cast members Danielle Fishel, Will Friedle, and Ryder Strong as they relive every episode, sharing memories, behind-the-scenes info, and more.
None of us have seen an episode since it aired back in the 90s, so we'll be witnessing our middle-part haircuts, hooded T-shirts, and teenage overacting for basically the first time right along with you.
Listen to Pod Meets World on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
You know, Ideal Home Loans is taking a bold step in the mortgage industry. Do you know what they're doing? They're making you a cash buyer with their cash buyer program. That's right. If you're approved for a loan, rather than waiting till it closes, if you need to get a contract in, Ideal will place that contract as a cash buyer for you. Now, most likely you close with your own money, but you don't have to. They're ready to close to make it work for you. The bottom line is this. You become a cash buyer only at Ideal Home Loans. Why? Because they are a mortgage banker using their own funds. They are not a broker. So they are in a position to make you a cash buyer. You need to look at this option if you're looking to buy, because your offer will go to the top. I think it's something like 40 or 50% more likely to be accepted than a regular offer. IdealHomeLoans.com. Of course, they can also do refis and show you how to use the equity in your home to make your overall interest that you're paying lesser, even though they've ticked up a bit, because you can get rid of high interest debt. IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867-7000. All right, American Restoration will come to the rescue. Even if your insurance is paying for a property disaster, like a broken pipe, a flood, a fire, maybe you have asbestos or black mold, whatever it is, American Restoration 24/7 is the company you want. Even if your insurance is paying, don't make the mistake of thinking it's not that important. It is, because once your insurance pays, they're not going to pay again. It's just like if you hire a bad roofer, they're not going to pay again. So it's important to get the right company up front. And the restoration business sucks, but American Restoration stands out among them with all the certifications from EPA and everything to get you the proper restoration. And you want that company that can do rebuilding too. They'll do as much or as little of that as you want. They're part of the Institute of Inspection, Cleaning, and Restoration. They have a certification from them. Other companies hardly know what that is. 8337-AMREST. 8337-AMREST. AMREST247.com.
If you're a homeowner, chances are you have a lot of equity.
So why the heck did he tell me he's in the elevator?
He was not even on Bellevue yet.
Oh, I'll text you when I'm coming up the elevator. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I thought he says I'm coming up the... Damn. Gotta get my brain out of cobwebs.
It's the back meds.
No, I don't do. I'm not on anything.
Make sure everybody's working.
Do you believe that, Mark?
I'll keep you next to your dad.
Thank you. I was off pain meds in a week.
To surgery, he was lying his ass off. I think he was on all kinds of...
No, but I didn't do any narcotics before surgery.
I didn't do any narcotics after my shoulder surgery at all. They gave me spots.
Just hold it on the street. Why take it when you can sell it?
Outside of a dentist's office.
That's not good.
Okay, I can do this.
Very, very limited. Very limited.
4 line.
I was explaining to Henry one day about the value generation.
What?
Value?
Oh, right. I guess I'd be part of that, right?
You might know a little bit about that.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit quirky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance.
All right.
About $200 a month. Call Term Provider.
Okay, a new witness against Trump.
I want to see those Secret Service agents. And he didn't grab the wheel and didn't jump them. I mean, that's so ludicrous.
I know, that was one of my
You believe that he did that?
He's on meds too.
And especially when
all on meds.
He's on wife number 2.
And now there's a Georgia election going on, probe, targeting Trump.
June 14th.
He's on meds.
Have you ever seen a man so universally hated than
He's
Trump?
on drugs, just like you.
This report is sponsored.
Not since Hitler, Tom.
Big Lou, he's on wife number 3 too.
Well, I don't know. Do you think he's more hated than Nixon?
Yeah, way.
Only by just some people.
60% of the population.
Look at Biden shit, man. He's like what, 36%?
He's not hated.
Podcasts all week. We'll dive into these two stories as their lies finally may have consequences. Download the Ben Ferguson podcast now.
Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
Hey, Tom Martino here. RealCBDThatWorks.com for pain, inflammation, anxiety. It's great for travel. People love it. You put Tom in the promo code, you get 30% off. And hold on, there's a special though. There's a extra special with 40% off with a summer code, and I believe that's good for the next day or so. I gotta look for that. And that's going to be great. Hold on, doggone it, where is it? Here it is. Okay, let me find it. Oh yeah, here it is. Okay, so it's until when's the deadline? Okay, until July 8th. Okay, until July 8th. Put this code in and get 40% off. RealCBDThatWorks.com. Summer 22. All caps. Summer 22. 40% off until July 8th, and that is RealCBDThatWorks.com. Okay, thank you. Let's go to the phones now. Blake Harris, attorney at law. Blake, welcome to the show. And Blake is, of course, Blake is an estate planning attorney. He's our expert on the show, Blake Harris Law. You can also ask him at 833-ASK-BLAKE. You can ask questions yourself. Karen, let's bring you up. Blake, I'm going to try to make this simple, okay? Karen it has nothing to do with it. It's her sister, Wendy, okay? Wendy lives in a condo, and that condo was purchased by Wendy's brother and Karen's brother. Okay, Wendy's brother purchased that condo for her. And the deed was put as joint tenancy, and Wendy was on there along with her brother, Norbert. Norbert passed away. Now we're told that an estate attorney Is that right? Is that right, Karen? An estate attorney is trying to drag that condo into Norbert's estate to settle it?
Yes, and to kick Wendy out of the condo.
But why is that? Who hired? I mean, who opened probate on this, by the way? Who, if it wasn't you or Wendy, who opened probate?
Sister.
The sister.
Another sister.
The personal representative.
Oh, wait a minute. So another sister opened probate. So there's a third sister here.
Correct.
Okay. So Norbert and Wendy, they were together on the deed as joint tenants, and then Norbert died.
Survivalship.
I get it. Norbert died. Now the other sister basically wants it into the estate so she can divide it up between you guys, right?
No.
Who's that other voice I'm hearing, Karen? Karen, who's this other voice I'm hearing out of nowhere? Who is that?
This is my cousin.
Okay. All right.
He is here as well.
Well, have him just answer the question.
Yeah. I one or the other. I don't want to complicate things. I'm trying to get an answer. Blake Harris, when something is joint tenants and the other person dies, can it be dragged into their estate?
Well, Tom, what the caller mentioned, which is very important, joint tenants with rights of survivorship. If there's rights of survivorship, it does not go to probate.
Yes.
I don't know who why this other attorney is trying to bring it into probate. If it's right of survivorship, the individual passed away, the other owner is a full owner, game over.
Now, if it wasn't right of survivorship, I thought as joint tenants, it automatically goes to the other one anyway. No.
I believe it requires words with rights of survivorship in order for it to go to the surviving owner. Without rights of survivorship, then it goes to the estate and divided among all.
So, Karen, are you sure on the deed it says joint tenants with right of survivorship?
Yes, I am.
Then what do they do to keep? What do they do to keep it out of probate?
I mean, this is ridiculous. If somebody opens up a probate for it, there's no way that they're going to be able to get anything. I mean, you may need to hire a probate attorney to go explain the law, but this should be dismissed in 5 minutes. I mean, this is really a no-brainer. I can't believe any attorney would actually.
So, Karen, you need to get a good probate attorney to get this dismissed. And how do you know they're trying to drag it into probate? What have they done? What has the sister done so far?
She has an attorney, but the attorney knows nothing about real estate law.
It's not even real estate law so much as it is estate law. Karen, I'm asking this. What action have they taken so far?
Last week, the judge ordered a mediation.
A mediation?
Yes, and the other side, the estate side, had proposed that my sister, who lives in the condo, start making payments toward the purchase of the condo to the estate.
Okay, I want you to call seriously. Seriously, you need to call Blake Harris. I'm serious about this. If your sister or you do not get an attorney, I don't know what's going to happen, Blake, but it sounds like, why would they even order mediation if it's clearly, has anyone presented the deed to the judge in this hearing?
Yes.
And he still ordered mediation even though it was right of survivorship.
I think the judge and the two lawyers don't know about real estate law.
Will you stop saying real estate law, please? It's a state law in this case, okay? It's a state law. That's what you're dealing with. So please, what you need to do is have Wendy seriously call an estate attorney.
What is Blake's phone number?
833-ASK-BLAKE. I'm serious about this. He'll give you some counsel on the phone. If you want to hire them, they can take care of it. 833-ASK-BLAKE. I don't know what else. Or if he's too busy, he'll have a referral. But
we're missing something in this whole call.
Yeah. If it says right of survivorship, how the hell can they do this? They can't do it. And as Blake, you're confident if it says right of survivorship, it's something that should be dismissed.
Absolutely, yes. This should be. I can't believe an attorney is actually pushing forward with this case.
Okay, thank you very much. That's Blake Harris, 833 Ask Blake. Karen, you're getting good advice.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino. Now, Dan Kaplis today at 4, 630 KHOW, Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by the Mark Moss Show podcast.
Really, our biggest delay right now on I-25 is northbound. Due to some road construction downtown, traffic is slow and go stop and go from around the Logan Street Bridge up through to about Spear or so. Southbound I-25 looks good through downtown. In fact, the rest of I-25 is in good shape as well. No problems across I-70. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, a good chance for afternoon thunderstorms today, a high reaching 87. Tonight's low 60, and then tomorrow we may see afternoon storms as well with highs in the upper 80s. Currently, it's 73. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, I'm Chris McLaughlin, 630 KHOW.
All these moves by the Federal Reserve have caused the great unwind, and I want to make sure you don't get caught in the crosshairs. I'm Mark Moss, each week discussing the decentralized revolution. So join the Mark Moss Show on the iHeartRadio app, on Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
TheArtOfGranite.com. That's the website for The Art of Granite, and you can give them a call, too, and get a price on the phone for your countertops, whether it's granite, natural stone, or any man-made material. They do all countertops. They pass along all of the materials wholesale to you. They do the bathroom free when you have the kitchen done. They also do cabinets. The Art of Granite. Get yourself a price on the phone, 303-386-5919. Then you can visit the showroom and have fun. They're located in Golden, 303-386-5919. I'll tell you something that's not fun, and a lot of people are facing it after the 4th of July holiday, and that is they got stopped for a DUI. Listen, there's no excuse for a DUI nowadays with rideshare and designated drivers and all of that stuff, right? But I'm not going to preach to you right now. I'm going to tell you that if you have a DUI, you can't face it alone. Even if you're dead guilty, or maybe you're falsely accused, I'm not getting into that. But you need an attorney no matter what. And I don't ever suggest you shop while you're under pressure. I've done the shopping for you. Joe Lazzara. Joe Lazzara, criminal defense attorney. If you don't need him for yourself, you may have to refer him. Keep the name handy. I hope you never need him. 303-429-6200. Joe Lazzara, Lazzara. 303-429-6200.
Do roller coaster stock markets make you nervous?
How was your 4th?
Oh.
Give up.
I didn't do anything special, I don't think. I mean, we just hung out. Did you do anything special?
No, big fireworks show. It's a private thing that one of my buddies puts on, but we were all set up to do it, and a big old fire started from some kids in the field in Aurora. Did you see that?
Yes.
We were in the parking lot right next to it, the toy haulers and the fireworks display. We had to load it up, do a box truck, do it in a different park. He gets all the permits to do all this fancy stuff, you know.
Really? You can get permits to do it?
Well, you know the sheriff. But yeah, it was quite the show.
Cool. Yeah, that's the problem when you go up to Wyoming or whatever. You buy whatever, you don't have the money. It's like, where the hell do you shoot them off?
Well, he gets them shipped in from some crazy place that makes professional fireworks. They're all loaded up on pieces of plywood, and you walk them out of the field, and you've got the electronics to set them off. Well, it's crazy. Yeah, he spends some money on that stuff.
It's on all major cable and streaming platforms. Your cable system doesn't carry Newsmax.
Those don't help the show, man.
Switch to a system and download the free Newsmax.
They got like 3 2-minute videos.
Anytime. Tune into Newsmax tonight for Brennan and Sussman, Rob Schmidt, Eric Foley,
That was cool.
So many people have told me about this. No wonder. It's the new way to stop.
You know, you've got some.
It makes you a cash offer for your home.
Yeah.
When your home sells for more.
You guys do anything, Tom, or you just hang out?
Whether do you have to choose between an easy home sale or the best price for your home? Tell you about
you guys do anything on Monday night? You know, stuff?
No. Not anything special, no.
Have you gone to a home buying company?
I went to a neighbor's party and I went home early. That's what happens when you get old. It's like 9:30. I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah, I don't drink, especially on like holidays like that. Still enjoy it once in a while, though.
Good for you.
Too busy, you know.
I don't know about that kind of stuff.
Too busy.
That's just not my.
Oh yeah. Got two buddies like that.
I'm all in, no matter what it is, and that's one of the reasons why Excel is successful.
Oh, we gotta be all in. Man. Don't work if you're not.
For sure.
You know what Cherry Creek does? They don't have fireworks on the 4th of July. They do it the Sunday before Labor Day. Yeah? They have a big fireworks party because, number one, all the kids back from camp.
Ooh, 12?
So on their vacation.
Troubleshooter show.
Everybody has off the next day. And nobody else is doing fireworks. So it's a great idea to do the Sunday.
That is a good idea.
Sunday before Labor Day.
For which show? Not for the Tom Martino show. Oh, Ross Kaminsky. Guess. Oh, hang on just a minute. I'll get you the right phone number, okay? Hang on. Should I go over there and ask?
8159. So they do them right on.
8159.
It's pretty cool.
I think Parker did one of those new. I think it was Parker did a drone show. I think that's his drones flying
The
around.
best fireworks ever.
A drone show?
Instead of fireworks, because
in New York.
Just doing drones.
All the fellowships. There must have been.
Just go to GimmeTheVan.com, put in your license plate number, put in the miles, attach a couple of pictures, and we'll get it brought.
Sell us your car. GimmeTheVan.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
And that is Frank Duran, the realestateman.com, 303-920-1622. A free analysis, meaning he'll look at it with the comps to tell you what it will sell for based on his 27 years of experience. And he's accurate, plus you can rely on that information. Frank Duran, 303-920-1622. Frank's got a question on auto insurance. What's going on, Frank? What's happening?
Good morning, sir. Enjoy the show. Hey, listening to your show yesterday made me think that I may be paying too much for one of my vehicles. It's a 2010 Ford Taurus SEL, 39,000 miles, showroom condition. It's not my primary driver. I have an older 2002 Taurus that I beat around and rack up the miles on it. And I have, it's fully paid off. I have full coverage, including comp and comprehensive, but I'm only carrying a $100 deductible. And after hearing your conversation yesterday, that it might be too much. Yeah.
Well, and let me explain the reasoning, Frank. It's really logical, okay? When you have a low threshold like a $100 deductible, in the old days when we did a $100 deductible, why did we do that? Because if damages amounted to $500 or $1,000, we put in a claim. Because very seldom did a wreck go into the $8,000 to $9,000 to $10,000 range. But what I'm saying to you is you are paying a very high premium to get a $100 deductible without ever taking advantage of it. And I'll tell you why. I'll ask you a question. Will you ever file a claim for $500 if it happened to you? I want to know.
It depends on the severity of why I'm putting in a claim.
There's no severity. There's $500. That's what I'm saying. That's the severity. So if you had a $500 claim, damage to your bumper, would you put in a claim and pay $100?
Well, I thought I might have.
Okay,
so I'm
if that's what you want to do, that's fine. And I'm telling you, but it's foolhardy. And I'll tell you why it is. Because insurance companies, especially when they pay low-value claims, you will be canceled after 3 of them, okay? And your rates will go up after 1 of them, okay? So if you have a $100 deductible, by logic, you would have more of a threshold to file claims. You'd file a claim for $500, $1,000, $1,500, $2,000. Most people that I talk to, even though they have a $100 or $200 deductible, or sometimes even a $500 deductible, if they got into a wreck and it was $1,200 to fix it, they'd never even tell their insurance company because they don't want to suffer the premium increases. That's the world we live in today. I'm not saying you don't have a right to file a claim. Pay all you want. Pay out the nose. And when you file a claim for $500 and you get a measly $400 of coverage and you pay the first $100, you will make up that $400 in your next premium payment or the next 2 or 3 for the rest of your life. And when you go to another insurance company, they will read a clue report which says that you filed a $500 claim, and that will also follow you. It's like a bad credit report. Jay, am I lying or dying?
You're absolutely right, Tom. And all these same exact principles.
He's with Excel Roofing, and that he was going to say the principles. Go ahead.
They're all the same for roofs. And people think they call their insurance company for a free roof inspection. They just got a claim. And if they file a claim for something that's less or equal to about their deductible, they're going to lose in the end because what happens is their premiums go up, just like you're saying. And I think you should tell everybody what that clue report really means.
A clue report is like a credit report, but it's all of your insurance claims ever.
That's right.
On home and auto.
For the property and the person.
That's right. So therefore, I am saying if you truly can, and this is what I really want you to know, Frank, if you truly want to file a $500 claim or a $1,000 claim, then you should have a $100 deductible. You really should. And then what you should do is just be prepared to be priced out of the insurance market or canceled, and then go to a high-risk insurance company in the future to where you won't. I'm telling you, it's the God's honest truth.
Can anybody get a copy of the clue report like they can a credit report?
No, they can't. No. So
this makes me rethink of it because you're bringing good advice to the table that I hadn't thought about before, and I will look at doing it. The only reason I was keeping that such a low deductible is because even though it's a 12-year-old car, it's in showroom condition, practically new.
Right.
So I'm treating it as if it was a new car, but I don't have.
But even with a new car. Even with a new car, that's all the more reason not to have a low deductible. A low deductible is for people who want to file a lot of claims, but the insurance company gets you both ways. To get a low deductible, you have to pay a high premium. If you use the low deductible, you pay a higher premium. If you use it more than twice, you're canceled. If you use it once and your premium goes way up, then you want to switch companies, it follows you. So there's no benefit to 100. In your mind, I know what you're thinking. Let's talk about this. If we have both had an accident nowadays of $5,000, you only pay $100. I pay $2,000. Okay, but my insurance has been level for years because of that. If you file and pay $100 and they pay a $4,500 or a $4,900 claim for you, your premium will go up drastically. 30 or 40% at least, and you're going to be marked as a risk. And now the next one, you might think, oh, I don't want to do that. What I'm saying is you are paying for something that is not worth using, because when you use it, you get penalized for using it. And it's just a terrible thing. Now, if you don't have cash, and you never have cash in the bank or money, and you have no choice, but you only have $100 to your name now and then get a $100 deductible. But then if that's the way you are anyway, you're not going to afford the premium after your first claim. So we're in a quandary. Do you see? And by the way, this is not good advice. This is survival, because insurance companies suck. Okay, the world should do away with insurance companies the way they are right now. I hate them. They're terrible entities. They are in it to win it for themselves, and they have nothing to do with policyholders. They have a disdain for policyholders. Okay, that's the truth.
Makes sense. And one last comment, I'll let you go, and I appreciate the advice. The only one time I've ever used it, my insurance agency said this would not affect me, is I used it for replacing a windshield. Now,
no, that's right. Windshields don't count.
They don't. Okay.
Yep. They don't.
I'm going to talk to my agent. I have.
Wait, wait. Before you say that, who's your carrier?
Yep. It's American Family.
Okay, that's the one of the top 5 worst companies you can have. Now I know you're going to talk to your agent, but here's what your agent's going to tell you. Your agent has nothing to sell you but American Family. Do you understand? If you wanted to shop the insurance market for better deals, he does not have the ability because he is a captive agent. That means he can only sell American Family. Isn't that something? Go into a store where they have one brand only, one price only, and they say, yeah, let me find you a better deal. They walk over to the next shelf and get you something off the shelf. It's the same thing. What I'm saying is American Family, State Farm, Farmers, and Allstate, and Fred Loya are the worst companies you could have. The worst. Why? Fred Loya doesn't have captive agents, but the rest of them had captive agents. They can't shop you deals. You have a creep up syndrome, which means your premium creeps up every year. With a broker who deals with 25 companies, they shop your insurance every year if they're doing a good job, and you're shopping the competitive market. My God, take advantage of at least a free market economy while we still have it. I'm serious. I'll guarantee you, Frank, I will make you a friendly bet, a $100 bet right now, that you can get better coverage cheaper if you call Compass Insurance Group right now for a free insurance checkup. You just say, look, here's what I'm paying. Go do your house and your car and just tell them what you're paying. You get your Dex page. It will cost you nothing, and you can always say no. And I guarantee you that they will come up with a better plan, better coverage, lower costs because they're shopping 25 markets and not American Family. So the number, if you want to try it, is 303-996-9000. I promise you. I just made you a bet, Frank, and you know where to find me. We got more coming up.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by the Ben Ferguson Podcast.
If you're on I-76 westbound, watch for some pothole repair work going on approaching Sheridan. Stop-and-go traffic starting around Pecos, working your way through to Sheridan. Once you get past that, heading out towards I-70, things look good. No real major delays on I-70, and northbound I-25 is a little slow into downtown from earlier construction. Fox 31 pinpoint weather. A good chance for afternoon storms, a high reaching 87 today, tonight's low 60. And then tomorrow we may see some more afternoon thunderstorms as well with highs in the upper 80s. Currently, it's 75. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, I'm Chris McLaughlin, 630 KHOW.
Possible jail time for January 6th committee witness, and Hunter Biden and Joe Biden's story unravels as well. Coming up on the Ben Ferguson Podcast all week, we'll dive into these two stories as their lies finally may have consequences. Download the Ben Ferguson Podcast now.
Tom Martino for Colorado Pain Care, and let me tell you why I love putting my name there, because they have helped me tremendously through my back pain saga and journey. You know, it's a little sad. I don't even go to Colorado Pain Care anymore except for occasional physical therapy because of all their recommendations and help in walking me through the entire process. They have minimally invasive procedures. They have more invasive if you need them. They have what it takes to get you out of pain. That's the message. They have multiple clinics, and they have clinic hours from 7 to 7 for your convenience. Really check them out. 303-GOT-PAIN. 303-GOT-PAIN. You know, Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies right now, they're helping me to figure out what to do with my defined benefit plan in retirement, because I'm past retirement age, but I'm still working. A lot of people are in their 40s and 50s, and they start thinking about retirement even earlier or later. The whole message here is the Planning Center takes a neutral look at everything you do, and they help you through retirement planning. Even if you already have a 401k and you already have a pension or whatever you have, they're a trusted family-owned team approach to retirement planning. They'll make recommendations that will save you money. They'll make recommendations that you should have involving income, investments, taxes, healthcare, and legacy. Give them a call. They'll meet with you as many times as you'd like to get comfortable. And even after you hire them, they only do things if you agree to it each and every time, where they show you how they're saving you money. rpcenter.com. rpcenter.com. 970-663-3211. 970-663-3211.
Here's to the great American settlers, the millions of you who settled for unsatisfying jobs because they paid the bills. Of course, there is something else you do.
Who is it?
Retirement Planning Center. I'm positive. What's that?
Compass is available, but do you want me to wait till the top since we're so close, or do you want to squeeze them?
No, I can squeeze them in.
Okay. And then what's the topic? I missed the call.
Oh, clue reports.
Clue reports.
Yeah, that was a 60. That was my fault, buddy.
So what I was going to tell you is if you bought a hail-damaged vehicle and then you tried to file a claim on it, that vehicle has this history, more than just a car. Where they'd be able to look up and say, you know what, $5,000 was paid out on this damage claim.
It was total
2 years ago, whatever it is. So even like if you were not involved at all in the transaction, other than owning
Hey, how's it going, Brian?
They're trying to put in a scam.
Good. Hey, it'll be real quick because we're going to the top, but he wanted to ask you before the top. So it's about clue reports. It's a general question. Thank you for your time. Hang on.
The biggest problem I have with back surgery, I was in a week total. My scar was, my scar's totally healed. It looks like it was there for years. I'm serious. I got the staples out after 2 weeks. Okay, so the biggest problem I've had is being restricted from working out, and I walk. I'm walking. That's all I can do. So I walk morning and I walk at night. We can do miles, but I feel my muscles feel weak. I feel terrible. Oh yeah, but I don't swim. So, but I can't. No, actually, I don't know if I can swim. I probably can. But in any case, I don't think I can. I don't think I can. Because I can't cycle. I can't do anything. And it just, I never realized how much I depended on that dopamine and feeling good about myself and working out. And I feel like shit. It's like, I just feel terrible. I don't know how to explain it. It's like my muscles, I can't stretch. They won't let me stretch for 6 weeks. And right now, I know I can do it, not be hurt. But he says I cut through muscles and there's an internal stitches. And, even though it looks good, keep it that way. He doesn't want to just, you don't want to compound it.
So if he $1,200 gold pacifier, but couldn't he do some upper body
Troubleshooter
No,
show.
he said
What is your
because he
first
said
name?
you're going to use, okay. Yeah, I can probably, and I've done that. You're right. I've even done legs.
Hi, innocent Celeste. What would you
No,
like to
he
talk to
said
Tom
not,
about on the
because
show
he said,
today?
even though you don't think you're using it, you are. He said he perfected my spine. He wants to keep it that way. It's not fused, by the way. That's why I went to a neurosurgeon.
Okay, yeah, it's the Tom Martino show. We help people a lot on our
and here's the
show,
thing.
and yeah, generally
6 fucking
if
weeks.
you need
So
help,
I now have.
Is it Lacey or Lacey?
So I'm at 3.5 weeks.
Okay, I got it right then. Okay, generally we have you come on the show via telephone, tell Tom what's going on to see how we can best help or advise. So with that being said, Lacey, what's your issue about? Tell me that.
Listen, nobody knows it, but I would be so in trouble because he did not clear me.
Hey, we just hired a new chef.
We get calls like that, and we try to help out where we can, but it does require you to come on the show and tell Tom about it via telephone.
When you're flying.
You got a few minutes for us. We won't keep you long, but
multiple platforms and thousands of devices. Listen to Denver's talk station from anywhere.
I stream online
At khow.com. 630 KHOW, an iHeartRadio station.
Tom Martino, and I love telling you about waterpros.net for the best water systems anywhere at the lowest prices. Do you know there's very few people I can say that about? I swear to you, under $1,000 for drinking water that continual, never buy bottled water again. And then you have also a whole house systems under $2,000, waterpros.net. Now, Jay Bretz is with me from Excel Roofing, and we have Brian Burns on and he Jay brought up the clue report. I brought up the clue report because it keeps track of people and how many claims and if they're good or bad risks. Brian Burns is with Compass Insurance Group. Brian, I only have a couple minutes here, but I want to ask you something. The clue report. Oh, I was talking to a guy about a $100. Listen to this. On a 12-year-old car, he's carrying a $100 deductible.
Yeah. So
Now,
pretty low
don't you?
deductible
Do
for
you
that
pay
kind of
out?
risk,
Do you pay out the nose for that $100 deductible?
It depends. For people that have, really low insurance rates, sometimes it doesn't make a huge difference.
Okay,
If you have
good.
a young
I'm glad
driver
you
with
said that.
100, yeah.
I'm glad
yeah.
you said that. So if you have low rates anyway, an extra to get that 100 deductible. But now I want to ask the flip side of that. Okay, let's say you can afford it. It's not so much. Would you be insane to put in a claim for $500 or $1,000 every time you have damage?
A collision claim, yes. You would be. It would not be a wise move because you'll get hit with a surcharge for a period of time, 3 or 5 years.
And then high risk.
Yeah, then your rates are going up, so you'll end up paying more in the long run probably
Right.
if you make a claim for such a small amount.
For collision,
does
but
not
wait,
affect.
what?
Yeah.
For collision, then what else is there that wouldn't harm you?
A comprehensive claim would not affect your rate.
Like a windshield, right?
Yeah, and even a collision claim that's a not-at-fault accident. If someone else hits your car and you come out and there's damage and you file a claim, that's a collision claim, but most carriers are not going to surcharge you for that.
Okay, because I was told that even when you have if you had frequent not at faults, it counts against you.
They underwrite. It's not a charge, but you're right. There's some carriers that will say, no, we're not going to do this. They've had 6, not at fault claims. Then you would have a problem. Some carriers don't even mention it. So
Okay, well, you know better than I do. But here's the deal. I just think they're way more evil than you probably do. But again, you're not an insurance company. You're a broker, and that's what I like. So the question we have, the clue report, are you guys privy to that or only underwriting?
No, we are. We can order a clue report. Yep, for auto and home.
Anybody can order one. It's part of the Fair Credit Reporting Act.
I thought you couldn't get a hold of it.
No, you can.
Well, why didn't you chime up when Deputy Doc asked?
I was typing an email.
Okay.
But LexisNexis is who you get it through.
Okay.
That's correct.
So we can get a clue report on ourselves. And what if what if the clue report is inaccurate?
Yeah, so then you actually contact LexisNexis, and there's a 1-800 number and a website you can go to. But if there's a mistake on there, all it means is that an insurance company has reported. In most cases, I guess it's possible LexisNexis has a problem, but usually it's just a mistake an insurance company has reported to LexisNexis, because that's really all they are.
Okay, got it. They're just basically like a credit reporting agency. They don't make the judgments; they just record it.
It's like Carfax.
Yep.
So LexisNexis, and they have to give you one, or do they have to sell it to you? What is it?
I think it's one free a year.
Yeah, I don't know about that. We obviously order them all the time. We get them all the time, but there is a charge for us. But yeah.
Hey, pull Tom's for us, just for.
Are people? I wouldn't have. I don't think I'd be high risk, but. Do people pull? I mean, are they scored with a number?
No. It's truly just a listing of all the claims that have occurred, whether it be on the home or the auto, and the dates and what the insurance company was, what the vehicle was, that kind of stuff.
Can you pull one actually just on the property?
Yeah, so when you pull it, it pulls on property and the person you're
cool.
entering. I have to enter a person, but then sometimes a claim will show up, but it won't show up underneath the individual.
So, like, it would show a high-risk neighborhood, for example.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
The thing you get more is you're buying a house and you find out it's had 5 claims on it, and they didn't tell you this. Sometimes it will show up in that clue report.
Wow. Okay, that's Compass Insurance, free insurance checkup at 303-996-9000. We have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show. We're going to give away $500 in gas courtesy of 888 Heating. Stick around.
Michael Brown here from.
So I bet Henry's never even heard of LexisNexis.
I never used it for that. But Fire, I'll tell you what was the search engine I used when everything was dot. But dot, it was before the website.
That's great.
Mark, do you remember the internet before websites?
First I ever did was a bulletin. Just call up on a modem, and it was nothing but going into different rooms and
I went to the internet, you would have.
Well, then the next step was AOL.
No, but yeah, I understand. But then, but the internet itself, though, you had to tunnel. For example, you tunnel to a government computer they leave open on the net, or a university, and then that university that had a tree, a file tree, and you went into folders and went in. You didn't see any. There was no graphics. There was just a folder, and you clicked, and the tree would unwind like an outline. And then when you found document, then you open the document and you could download it. But there was absolutely no surfing and the only search was called the Boolean search, where you literally had to search the search terms you wanted, and it would tell you where to find it. Or there was something that we thought we were in deep tall cotton when they came out with Fetch. It was a dog.
I remember that.
Fetch, and it was a little picture of a dog, and you would put something and the dog would go find it. But then you didn't just click on a freaking website or put in an address. You had to go, it would tell you where it is, and so you had to go and tunnel right through everything to get there. You had to go to the University of Michigan, you had to go here, then you go to the science department, then you had to go to this professor, then you had to go to this. I'm telling you, it was crazy shit to get a file or to learn something, and now you just type in an expression no matter what it is. I mean, I was watching something on the TV and heard an expression on this show and put it in, and it comes up on everything. I mean, it has every quote of every character in every movie, or it's just outrageous how much information is at our fingertip.
Yeah.
I don't think I've stepped foot in a library in 40 years. I mean,
we went into a library the other day just to get some copies. It was like, when's the last time you were in a library? I don't know.
God almighty, it's amazing. But I was so early on the internet, and that's why I could have gotten when they did finally come out with the World Wide Web, they called it, I could have gotten any URL I wanted. Anyone. I was thinking, I want to get Troubleshooter, and I want to get Referral List, and I want to get, they said, you should get Troubleshooters. And I said, I won't need it. All that kind of shit. And now to find something unique is crazy. I remember, because Google wasn't even in existence. We could have had anything. And the registrar was way different than GoDaddy. You had to register it with some international fucking forum or something, and to keep your URL.
Still using studio sound, I don't know.
What's that?
I guess maybe it's not getting studio sound, I don't know.
Yeah, that's why.
They're talking about CTE. No. You know what that is? CTE is chronic traumatic. I'm not sure if he eats it, but it's football players mainly from concussions. He's had a couple concussions.
Broken just about everything that can break from done.
How? Motorcycling?
Motocross, yeah. Down with freestyle, and that got worse.
KTM?
I was more of a Japanese guy. Suzuki Kawasaki.
I'm thinking about getting some adventure bikes.
I got a few Kawasaki's or a few KTM's now.
I love BMW.
Love BMWs? Yeah, those are the standard for adventure bikes. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Packs and all
There's
that.
one real kicking ass, snow biking.
You know what you do? You go up to...
No, snow biking's no fun.
That's like getting on Grand Lake with those things.
We have
Frozen Lake bikes.
no, no, you don't want to be on Grand Lake. No, we do a lot of snowmobiling.
We do a lot of snowboarding.
Yeah. Timber sites.
You don't get the big turbo pull on a snow bike.
The cool thing about those timber sites is the crazy narrow passages. I mean, you guys can go through any.
Well, we could go down ice. We could go like up and down ice canyons and stuff, where you guys can't go unless you're like Mercer or something. That guy goes anywhere.
He's pretty close.
Yeah, he's pretty. He can
No, he's pretty close.
Well, he can be a snow bike line guy too. Then there's some stuff that's just.
He's on one. He gives a left nut first.
I picked up a BRC 500 snow bike, which is the unicorn. You know, that thing is just sick. I got a 2-stroke 500cc, ripping.
How do they even sell that anymore?
3-inch paddles, just goes.
2-strokes are still pretty popular, especially with snowmobiles. The majority of snowmobiles sold are still 2-stroke.
You can get such higher displacement out of 2-stroke.
Yes, I got a BRC like that, but modified to be a snow bike.
Yeah, I got it.
You know what we're talking about, Doc? Snow bikes?
Street bike?
No.
You put a ski on the front wheel, and on the back, instead of a wheel, you've got a track. Kind of similar to a snowmobile, but it's much more narrow.
That would be so cool.
And so you can motorcycle
snow?
Yeah, through the snow.
Wow.
And you can go through trees that are, I mean, if the tree is narrow enough to get your handlebars through, you can go through. And even if you're going slow, you can wedge it through, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, you can thread the needle on those things.
Yeah, that's fun.
We're on.
You can't do the drops. It's obviously less machine.
So,
but it's still go.
So Colorado's paying for restructuring. They want to.
They did a few stuff.
They want to recruit for a few months.
Like that. On the ice on the west. Yeah, I go to home. It's still cool and all that. Yeah, I just like the new.
So at the end of July,
it's not as fast. I do that because you got Molly, 800cc turbo. But
I just KTM XTS.
Tell them to reach out directly to me.
I crashed it at Rampart 3 years ago. Broke my foot.
Wow.
I know. I fractured my back in 3 places. Both my knees, my feet.
There we go.
Everything. But 3 years ago, it was done.
Yeah.
Then we get a safety gear tester.
You're up.
Hey, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show.
303-713-TALK is our number. 303-713-8255. One Clear Choice Garage Doors, the company you need for your garage, no matter what happens. If it's a broken spring, maybe the door doesn't open for some reason, it's cattywampus, or you want to just get a new opener, you can rely on them. They have a website with all of their prices fully disclosed. I use them all the time. I love them. OneClearChoiceDoors.com. And when I say all the time, I've had like 7 openers put in.
I love it over the years, and I have the new Sidewinder now. I love those. That's a big motor on the side. You don't have anything overhead. So it's OneClearChoiceDoors.com. Okay, so we've been talking about insurance and how they screw us. I got a text here that says, one time I used my insurance with a fender bender. My insurance went up $600 because she had a low deductible. $600 went from $600 to $1,150, the premium. Think about that. And and been paying that for years. So that's the thing. That's the problem. When people have low deductibles, they're inviting a lot of claims because they use it. And then we also learned about a clue report. A clue report is like a credit report. And a clue report keeps track of all of the claims you've ever had because they want to see if you're just a claimer, if you make too many claims. And then you're a higher risk to insurance companies. It's like a credit report when people are loaning you money. Well, insurance companies have a clue report. And you can get that. I didn't realize it was available to the public, but you can get it through LexisNexis, a copy of that. But Mark, can you drill down to see how to get it? I'd like to know how.
I can give you the.
How much? I mean, is it free or that's
it's once a year? It's just like
a credit report.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I'll pull up the phone number.
All right.
But Tom, make a point about how it, not only for the individual, but for the property.
That's Jay Bretz from Excel Roofing, and of course he does a lot of insurance work with roofs, right? So what does that mean, Jay, exactly? So you get a report on both the property and the person.
Yeah, that property carries a history. And if somebody has filed an insurance claim on the house and then sold it, for example, whoever bought the house, they might find out later on it has hail damage, and then they try to file a claim, and somebody's already collected on the claim.
We've had that happen where a new owner says, hey, I didn't realize I had past damage, and then the insurance company says, or the new insurance company they have says, well, no, another insurance company paid on this 3 years ago.
That's right. I'm wondering, like Frank Duran, if he knows about being able to pull that clue report, because that seems like something you would do in a real estate transaction.
He probably does.
Yeah, and that will tell you that a lot of claims have been made on that house. And then it also...
Think about how many cars were stolen from that house, or vandalism done, or any claim.
Don't you think that would be better than the disclosures that the homeowner...
It's just, I think disclosures are really important. And you know the real purpose of a disclosure? Do you know what the real purpose is?
To disclose.
To just see if the,
it's supposed
to be. Seller is lying.
Keep from getting sued.
It's supposed to be to keep from getting sued, to disclose, but it also gives ammunition because you have in black and white someone did not disclose.
We've seen some great disclosures in our time. We had one that disclosed that the house
was not a house. It was not a house. It was a collection of lumber. It was a collection of roofing and electrical. I swear to God, non-inhabitable, not meant to be, if you inhabit it, it's at your own risk. And these people bought this house sight unseen from out of state. Remember that, Mark? And the disclosure they got said it's not a house. It looks like a house, but it's not a house.
Well, I know who was not their real estate agent.
Listen, I could give over the years, I could give you clauses in contracts that would blow your mind. What were you going to say, Doc?
Have you ever seen any of these YouTube things about sovereign citizens who don't say a car is a vehicle or a motor vehicle? They claim it's a piece of personal property, and they refuse to identify it as a motor vehicle or as an automobile.
Because they don't want to buy license or registration or anything. Except they can't drive it, or they'll get arrested.
Well, they drive and they get tickets.
I had a tax protester on my show one time. He's still in jail. I mean, he said, I never pay tax. I never pay tax. I don't file. You don't have to. Their income tax is unconstitutional, all that. But anyway, Mark, I know what you're going to say. When I brought up the clauses in contracts that we've seen over the years, you're going to bring up the Luna Clause. The Luna Clause was from Luna Construction. And I swear to God when I tell you this, that this Luna Clause, basically this, if Luna don't like... Luna can keep your money and not do the work. Wait, Mark, we should have kept it.
The guy signed it. I looked everywhere for it a few.
Or Luna. If you talk bad about Luna, Luna can withdraw from job. And it was written in broken English like that. We call it the Luna Clause.
That's insane. You know, a good point about what you're talking about, and most consumers don't realize, whatever kind of home improvement contract they're looking at, they can modify it. They can scratch out whatever they don't like.
Well, of course, there's no such thing as standard.
A lot of people think that they just have to sign whatever is put in front of them, and they don't have to do that.
And speaking of contracts, roofing contracts often don't have what's legally required now, and they just have them sign whatever the insurance company says. You know, they don't care. They don't put anything on that contract. And what does the state say you have to have on a contract for roofing?
You're supposed to have the scope of the material, so what it is. You're supposed to have the exact cost of what it is. You can't just put that blank dollar amount saying we're going to collect whatever the insurance company pays out. You're supposed to have disclose that if you pay money up front, you're going to put that in a special trust account. And you know that no roofers do that. They don't have a special trust account. You're supposed to list your insurance. There's all of these things that so many of those contracts don't have on them.
Yeah. Okay, so we have Garrett Weiler in from 888 Heating. He's the owner. He's going to be giving away some gasoline, $500. We did get the gasoline card. You know, we wanted him to come into the show to get it, but he couldn't do it the last winter, Tim. So we Venmo'd him $500 in your name, Garrett. And this comes from Money Mailer, by the way. Money Mailer is the 5x8 envelope I'm sending out. I took over Money Mailer of Colorado, and I'm sending it out along the Front Range to about 270,000 homes. sometimes more. Yeah, it's around there. So, and what happens is it has coupons, and Garrett's was one of the coupons. And, of course, he has a deal on that, too. You can find it at moneymailer.com, and you can search HVAC and find Garrett's coupon online, too. Here's the deal. It has a QR code on it, and on the front of the envelope it says, scan 888 Heating's code, and you have a chance to win gasoline. So we've had a ton of people this time around, more than last time, although we had quite a few last time. We have a ton of people who signed up, and all they had to do was give their cell phone and their name. And I don't sell that information to anyone. I just use it for this. So we're going to pick one. So,
yeah, Tom, let me say something real quick if you don't mind.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, so I just wanted to say thanks to all the customers that used us for the tune-ups, the repairs, the replacements. I mean, everything has been great. And you guys got a great community here on one of the best radio stations I think I've been a part of. But I wanted to give a special shout-out to Elmer Barbera, really cool customer, awesome listener. I'm sure he's listening right now. But I want to say thanks for using us. I appreciate it.
Okay, cool. And I got to remember where I put these. I'm just kidding. The entries. I have the entries, and we got to pick a time to do it. So I say we do it at noon, right after the noon hour, right with the first thing back. We are going to give away $500 in gasoline. Now, if you have a problem, question, or complaint, give us a call at 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255, and we will answer your questions no matter what it's about, whether it's about heating and air or about roofing. You can do whatever you'd like because we have experts here today. By the way, how's supply chain? Oh, I just read today, in fact, it was all over the news that, I have it right here, that some people are waiting back east 6 weeks or more for parts.
Yep. It's we're not immune to it up here either. We're not the biggest market, so I would say manufacturers do ship things to bigger markets. But, when we do have them, we buy them by bulk. We run out just like everybody. But we are, maybe 2 weeks out on most things. But that being said, if you're a consumer looking to do something with all the energy mandates, things coming around the corner, high equipment prices, I'd look into doing it before 2023.
So are you saying right now they are having a problem with supply new units?
Yep. Yeah, most people are having some kind of issue. We're having our issues, but not as bad as some others. We got great suppliers, great distributors backing us, putting us kind of at the front of the list. But
I've gotten 3 emails now. What is the link for the gas drawing?
What is the what? Oh, link. Okay.
Is there one?
No, there's not. No, you got to do the QR code on his coupon, but you can find the QR code online. If you go on your computer and you go to moneymailer.com, okay, and put in our zip code. I know, hold on. I did this before, and people can enter.
I think if you type in 888 heating, it'll come right up.
It will?
I think so.
Right in moneymailer.com, or just, I'm putting in moneymailer.com, and I'm going to show you how to
on Money Mailer.
Okay. Now when you're on Money Mailer, it says find. We don't have to put the zip in. We can just put 888.
I think so.
Let me try that.
I sure hope I'm correct.
Let me try it. Let me try it. Let's see. I'm going to search and see if it comes up without putting in a zip. No, it's forcing me to put in a zip of some kind. Or state. So hold on. So let's just put in Denver, Colorado, USA, and then put in put in 888 heating. Let's see if that comes up.
Or HVAC maybe.
Yeah. Okay. So here's what happens. If you go to Money Mailer and moneymailer.com, okay? And when you go to moneymailer.com, you have to look for HVAC. To put in Denver, okay? And then look, I'm sorry you have to do this, but if you get the coupon out of the envelope if you have the envelope. So put in Denver, Colorado, and then do HVAC. I believe that's what we do. Geez, that's not working.
It came up a lot easier last
I know,
month.
It did come up a lot easier. Listen, I promise you I'll find out how to do that to get that link to you. But I don't know why that is happening. It should be coming right up. I'll find out. Anyway, 303-713-TALK is our number. Bottom line is this. If you scan the QR code, you know what I might do? We can put the QR code. I can give you the QR code. We can put it up on our feed if we want. we can try that. Anything, but right at noon, though, right after we come back, we will be giving it away. Now let's talk. So there are supply chain problems with AC. Back east especially, I don't know why they're suffering so much back east, but they are. Now, Jay, as far as roofing, though, roofing's plentiful, right? There's no problem with supply chains, right?
There's supply chain problems, especially with low slope. So flat roofing, that's going to be where the big delays are happening right now. In the residential market, because Denver's not experienced hail in the last couple of years, the supply of asphalt shingles is pretty good. It depends on certain specialty products. There might be delays with those. But right now, the shingles, and especially for a company like ours, because we do a lot of business with supply houses, they make sure that we have material. So if somebody's needing to get a job done and another roofer is telling them, well, we can't get to your job because of material, we can get the job done. So the material is not a big, huge problem for us, Tom.
What about labor?
Labor is plentiful right now also because there's not been a whole lot of hailstorms around Denver. So we're also taking care of okay on labor.
Are we late for hail right now? Does it usually happen before this, if it's going to happen, or does it happen at any time?
Well, not only are we in kind of a water drought, but we're in a hail drought.
We are. So
statistically, we have not had hail. Or statistically, we normally don't go this long without some kind of medium storm. Usually, it happens at least every 2
I think
years.
you're going to get one today. I think it's going to be
a hailstorm?
Yeah.
All right. Well, by the way, I got to take a break. I'm sorry. We got more coming up.
Here's to the great American settlers.
I thought we had to go through Castle Rock yesterday. I was like, oh, man, it's coming. It rained like hell, but we didn't get the hail.
Fuller Law 60. It's climate change.
Yep, right now. Yeah, there's not. The only reason the 2's today is because it's a makeup from yesterday.
It's showing some roofing 60. Those are supposed to be changed to 30s. So I'm going to talk to him and find out what that's going on.
All right, sweet.
You know, let's talk about your problems, questions, and complaints, like personal injury. If you're in trouble, if you're hurt, John Fuller, Fuller Law, is the one you want to talk to get help. He is a small law firm by design to give you personalized attention. You know, bigger is not always better when it comes to personal injury, especially when it comes to John Fuller, Fuller Law. 303-597-4500. He's small. He will give you, when it comes to him, he will take care of you. And that is what people say. Tom, thank you. I got his cell phone number, and he followed up with me, and I always knew where my case stood. When it comes to large firms where you're just a number, they pick the cream of the crop. You can call John to evaluate your case, and here's what he's going to do. He's going to give you the truth on what he thinks it's worth and what he thinks he can go for and where the collection is available. And then if you hire him, he works on contingency fee. That means a small percentage of what he collects for you. He's my accident lawyer on this show as my expert. He can be your accident lawyer at myaccidentlawyer.co. 303-597-4500. That's 303-597-4500. Blake Harris Law, you heard him on the show. You can call him for anything you need. BlakeHarrisLaw.com. 833-ASK-BLAKE. If you have an estate planning question, give him a call, and he'll give you answers free of charge. And then he'll only charge if you hire him for a specific thing. He'll give you quotes up front. That's Mile High Estate Planning is now BlakeHarrisLaw.com. 833-ASK-BLAKE. That's 833 Ask Blake. Silverleaf Mortgage is a reverse loan mortgage company that will do a reverse loan for you, and he has a heart for seniors. Silverleafmortgage.com. They even have a nonprofit foundation to help you fix up your home, to get it ready for appraisal, to get even a higher appraisal. Find out more at silverleafmortgage.com. 720-REVERSE. That's 720-REVERSE.
Ask yourself, what am I doing to guarantee I'll have adequate inflation income that will never be outlived? Call 866-901-STATE for your complimentary.
Hit a rock in the middle of it.
On the sled.
Like, yeah, just full throttle. Right, the rock was just really covered.
Smell it. Oh, yeah. I clapped a tree last year on the, I have a 65 850, and then when we got this 850 turbo, so I like made a tree.
Dragon, how much time do I have?
Upper arm, lower arm, ski, shop. We were up at Valadiers, and I was just determined to learn new entries. 2 or 3 years ago, up the sled, I hit the corners going like 60. I completely misjudged my speed and just launched the sled like 10 feet up.
60 under entries pretty fast.
Yeah. It was big corners, so you couldn't really.
Okay, heating and AC. Okay, finally. You know, it was this computer. I got. What's that? I'm going to go back and find out. I put in heating. Hold on. Let me find out.
Search was too refined. Didn't work.
Did you find that big drop? Did you show up?
Like a few years.
Yeah.
Ravages?
Up on the, you call it Corona Lawns, right there by the trestle.
Yeah.
God, I'm calling it like 100 feet.
Oh yeah. I think we dropped everything around that hole. You can't launch, you can't jump it on a snow bike because you don't have the power to go. You know, you can actually get up it, but you can't. You don't have enough speed to cap that.
No, I'm talking about that drop.
Yeah, to go down into the bowl. Yeah. That picture I just showed you is being launched right off the top of it. And it just drops down as far as you can go.
So what grade are you in school?
I'm a senior now, I guess.
And where, Cherry Creek?
No, I'm doing online. So
He does online, so the whole different like level thing, I think it's in the law.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Here to help you solve problems, answer questions, and take complaints. And you can also text me at 57739, and we do have some texts here. Okay. We have been waiting on a part for our GMC Suburban since April, early April. That's April, May, June, July. Think about that. Now, one question here, what deductible should people be using? You know, you heard Compass say that if you have low rates and the $100 does not, the $100 deductible does not raise your rates that much, if that premium is still reasonable, if you're older and in a low risk group, you can have it. But remember this, you can't put in multiple claims or your rates are going to go sky high. Now, I recommend at least a $1,000 deductible, at least. To me, I think it should be $2,000. If you can keep $2,000 in the bank for emergencies, for a car or for a house, you will save that in premium dollars in no time and in claims. Because, I mean, that's just my opinion, $2,000. But, again, if you don't have money, when a claim comes up, you're going to have a problem if you have a big deductible. But if you – so I don't really – there is no perfect answer to that. There is no perfect answer. Jay, do you know what the average person has? You're out there all the time doing roofs. Do you know what the average person has?
We see $1,500 is a pretty – I would say a common deductible, but more and more we see that 2% of the home value. And those ones get big because the
no, that's terrible. That's percentage of oh no, that's terrible. 2% of the home value.
2% of the home value, and normally that's just on the roof. They'll say, okay, you have a $3,000 to $5,000 deductible on your home. However, any kind of roof claim is going to be a 2% deductible. You know what I was surprised by?
No, that's ridiculous. And in fact, in some cases, it turns out they don't have coverage because that deductible can be $16,000 or more.
Yeah, easy, because if the value of the home is what?
So people have to write a check for that?
Oftentimes, that's when they'll file the claim, they'll find out how much it is, and then they'll take whatever money they get, if they get anything, and then they don't do the roof.
Oh, my goodness.
So that's what I was talking about with the Clue report and everything else. I think there's more and more people that are not following through on claims for their roof because it's just so expensive with that deductible.
Well, that's what Compass Insurance Group on the insurance checkup, that's one of the things they check on for sure. One of the things they check on is what kind of deductible do you have? And then they try to get you out of that. I mean, I don't mean after the fact. I mean before you run into trouble. Because the percentage of home value deductibles for roofing is terrible. Or ACV. Some people have actual cash value. So they don't replace the roof. They just pay what the roof was worth the day before the storm.
You should
so
explain that one a little bit more, Tom.
All right.
Everybody, what does ACV mean?
If you have ACV roof coverage, here's what it means. If you had a roof installed,
say it's 10 years old.
Well, let's say last year you had a roof installed and it was damaged. It's going to be worth almost new, right? But if there were any changes in prices since then, you don't get that. You get the actual cash value of what that roof was worth the minute before it was destroyed. Now, let's say it's 10 years old. That's half-life.
More or less, yes.
Right, half-life. So if the roof is worth to replace
$15,000 is an average cost for an asphalt roof in the Denver area.
Okay, so let's say $15,000 for that roof, and you have a 10-year-old roof. You might get $7,000.
That's right. That's right. And then
you have to pay the other.
Let's say that you have the common $2,000 deductible. So they're going to take that $2,000 off the $7,000. So somebody with a $15,000 claim, it's going to be $5,000 cash paid to them. So if you're that homeowner, are you going to pay that additional $10,000 to get the roof on there?
Probably not.
And so there's a lot of people that may have to make.
Are you saying there are a lot of roofs out there that never got repaired?
There's more and more every year because of this situation we're talking about right here.
Yeah, because the mortgage company doesn't make them do it.
In an ACV situation like we're talking about, most of the time, the insurance company will just write that $5,000 check directly to the homeowner and not put the mortgage company on the check.
Right.
So then it makes it easy to just pocket that money.
So here's the point. When you're going to buy a house, you better have it inspected for sure on that, because it's going to be very, very difficult. Now, JR has a comment on insurance companies, but remember, people, look for your policy. If you have ACV, get rid of it. Don't get an ACV deductible, or ACV coverage, I mean. Okay, now, JR, what do you want to say about insurance?
Hey, Tom, I've been with the same. I get multiple houses. I have 3 houses. No claims on 2 of them. My house that I'm living in 2015, I had 1 claim for hail damage, nothing else, hail damage. And then they turn around and jack my rates up $800 a year, and then every year
for
after,
1 claim,
more and more.
For 1 claim.
Yeah, I had 1 claim. I haven't had, and then, well, wait, it gets better.
1 hail claim, and how long?
I've been there since 2015.
Okay.
1 hail claim. And then in 2019, 4 years later, big storm comes through here in the Springs, just beat the crap out of my fence and deck and everything else, filed a claim. And, they covered quite a bit of it, still $3,000 out of my own pocket. Now I'm literally over double what I was paying $1,800 a year. Now I'm paying close to $3,400 a year. So I paid for that. I paid for all that. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know, it's a touchy subject for me. It just really pisses me off that I'm paying this kind of money, and I've had 2 claims, and it's not even my fault. It's hail damage,
JR, not only is it, this is Jay with Excel Roofing, not only is it not your fault, but what happens is the insurance company is going to take a look at the entire zip code. So everybody else that was around you that maybe got another roof when it hailed again, but you didn't, all of those claims factor into the premium that you pay. So it's this collective thing. And I've seen articles from insurance companies or statistics about it, and they say about 30% of that premium that you're paying goes directly to the roof. So let's just, for easy numbers, say $1,000 a year is what you're paying for your homeowner's insurance. At least $330 of that would be going to pay for the new roof that would happen because of the hail.
Yep, that's the problem. Is that and insurance companies suck anyway. Let's face it, they really do. They do. I don't know how else to put it. They are not there for you. When the adjuster comes out, they will almost always undervalue a claim. That's what they do. They undervalue claims. All right, more coming up. We have Jay Bretz here from Excel Roofing, and we have Garrett here from 888 Heating.
KHOW Denver, 630 K.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about the issue.
Okay. That ties in with.
Tom, my mom had a message for you.
What is it? How's she?
You're supposed to let me talk more. So you didn't know, but you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do. She's doing pretty good.
You're up after weather.
She's 86.
She's doing good, though?
Yeah. Doc, she's 86, and she lives right over by the Trickery Country.
In about 30 seconds.
And then tomorrow we may see some afternoon storms as well.
You need to, like, as soon as it looks like you're interested in the subject he's talking about, just come along. And he'll pass the baton.
Need new blinds or shades? Blindster.com offers custom blinds, shades, and shutters shipped directly to you at prices less than big box retailers. Blindster blinds are easy to install and guaranteed to fit. Right now, save 50% off any order during their July 4th sale. Blindster.com.
FixMyHome.com. That's the website for Fix It 24/7. They're doing the famous $39 extreme clean and check of your AC if you need it. If it's not running at peak capacity, they'll come in and make sure that it is. They go through the entire system. It's practically a refurbishment. And then, of course, they can do the same for a furnace. $39. They also have what I love, the Green Bubble Club, $139 a year. Can you believe it? You get 4 visits automatically, one to tune up that furnace and refurbish. Also for the air. Then you have a water heater flush once a year, and your electrician comes in and checks out your smoke detector batteries and all of your panel. That's what you need for just $139. That's 720-526-3939. All right, let's talk about Sheridan Auto Tech, everything you need in an auto repair facility. I always say that when I talk about Kevin, Uncle Kevin, and Sheridan Auto Tech. They have longevity, which is a great thing to have, right? And they have convenience, they have value, and they have also knowledge. That's so important. And they have maintenance, repairs, and electrical issues. SheridanAutotech.com on Colfax and Lakewood, just west of Wadsworth, on Havana and Aurora, just south of 6th Avenue. If you're looking for quality, honesty, value, all of that, and a family operation, what I mean is they treat you like family. SheridanAutotech.com, 303-455-7242. You want to get floors? Simply Floors, Inc. .com. That's where you make your own appointment. You know, Buddy and Karen Mitchell started this place, and they joined a buying club to get the best pricing ever, and they pass it on to you. They can match big box prices or better every time, and better installers, a better overall experience. Why? Because they have design consultants that they assign to each and every job. Simply Floors, Inc.com. Make your own appointment. They have LVT, carpeting, hardwoods of all kinds. Simply Floors, Inc.com.
Her face lights up whenever you're around.
Henry was looking at the live feed, and there was somebody that posted a comment about attic ventilation and solar panels.
I'll refer those to you guys.
Really matters. Yeah. Life. No one sells a more beautiful diamond for less. That's the Williams Diamond guarantee. So if you found a woman who loves like no other, give her that diamond that shines like no other. The Williams Jewelry, where Colorado shines. We can make diamonds a part of your life. Williams Jewelry. When Jerry Creek more than an indoor, where Colorado shines. That's true. You're able to walk your rate for up to 120 days when you work, my friends, at a
American financing, so you're getting peace of mind as you search for the perfect home. And you don't miss out on the deal best deal once you're ready to make an offer. But it doesn't really end there. They also provide a no pressure, no obligation lending experience. Everything from custom loans to fast closing and everything in between. They really can do everything. And that includes connecting you with a realtor, making them a one-stop shop for all of your home ownership needs. So why not just a few minutes to learn
So you're doing all your coursework online at home? Don't you miss the social part of going to school? Really?
I wanted him to go in person for that reason. You know what he does, Doc? He comes to the office with me almost every day. He's doing his school. He's got his own office.
Yeah.
And he does his schoolwork, and then he's also, when he's not doing that, he's engaging in Excel roofing stuff.
Yeah, but he's not engaged with his peers.
I know.
Every weeknight with their new show, The Record.
Well, are you planning on going to college next year? Or are you going to do that online?
Tell him what you want to do.
What?
And then there's
He's curious.
exposing the woke agenda. More than 20 million Americans watch Newsmax. Millions are making a switch to Newsmax.
He wants to take over Excel.
Yeah.
And he thinks that college will just be 4 years of wasted money.
It might be.
I mean, just say it like
Unless you get a degree in construction management.
We were, just being in Spain, I'm encouraging him to take
no more time. It's going to be sushi over here in bed.
Yeah.
That's not, how many seconds?
Just about a minute.
Because that's a lot, not only just life skills.
That put me right in panic mode.
You did great.
That's when I start tripping over my words. I'm like, ah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. That's really good for these guys.
Not for you guys. What do you need? Business skills? Accounting, financing, that kind of stuff? Marketing?
Sales and marketing. Yeah. The three most important skills for your job.
It's Gas Money on 630 KHOW, sponsored by Guy Reese.
Brighten your home and save 10% on Benjamin Moore Paint by joining the Guy Reese Loyalty Program. Stop by a store or go to GUIRYS.com to sign up today. Guy Reese, your neighborhood paint store since 1899.
Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Hey, Garage Magic. It is magic when you get those coatings down. It makes your garage look beautiful. Your sidewalks, your pool decks, your patios. GarageMagic.com. A guaranteed lifetime for the finish. Remember that. All employees, no subcontractors. GarageMagic.com. All right. So if you have a problem, question, or complaint, you give us a call. We have open lines. It's a rare thing. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. And we have Jay Bretz from Excel Roofing in. We've been talking about some roofing issues and what to watch out for with coverage. It's really, really important. Listen carefully. Do not accept any kind of coverage that is ACV coverage. You will never be able to afford your roof unless you just have gobs of money and you don't care.
Tom, the thing on that one right there is if you have a rental property, oftentimes that's your only option. So you might have to do ACV for that rental property.
Okay. Actual cash value. That means if your roof's 10 years old, you get maybe 50% of what it's going to cost, less your deductible. If it's more than that, you could get very little. And that's why a lot of people aren't replacing their roofs. Now, the other kind of deductible you don't want is percentage of home value. Think about where home value is right now. Think about that. If you had a house, and sometimes it's 3% of home value.
2% is pretty common. 3%, we see that out there.
Now, so let's say 2%.
650? What's the average home in Denver?
So you have a hell of a deductible.
13 grand.
Yeah, 13 grand before they even kick in their coverage.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. And when that hailstorm comes through and you've got a $15,000 total claim and your deductible's $13,000, I mean,
yeah,
it's a hard decision.
Garrett's with 888 Heating, and here's what I want to know. Are we seeing inflation? That's what I want to know, because we have inflation with everything. I imagine roof supplies are up, right? Roofs are more. What about inflation in your business? Where is it hitting you the worst or the best?
HVAC equipment, it's gone up anywhere between 20 to 36% in the past year.
That's a big. Have you ever had an increase that big in 1 year?
We have not had an increase that big at any point in my life in 1 year.
Are you finding most people financing replacements?
Yep, we have a lot of financing plans, 0%. We have 15-year. I mean, everything that we can do to make sure people get what they need in their home to stay cool or heated in the winter. The good thing about interest rates when they were really low, they're still low, believe it or not, historically, but when they were really low, the good thing is that you were able to take a loan out. You can take an equity line of credit, or you can take a home, just refinance your house to get, and then upgrade all your mechanical if you had to. Yeah, and that would have been the time to do it. Yeah, we got a lot of people that do that too, but most people are taking advantage of the better financing deals we have. We got low interest rates, and you got 0% depending on your term.
So what are some of the rates people can get right now?
They can get rates down to 5.99 all up to 10.99 depending on the years
their
that
credit
they're doing.
Too.
Their credit also. They also have certain plans, not all of them. You can get 0%.
All right. I want to talk about attic ventilation, and you know this, even in the heating and air business. If you know what I had years ago. My AC wasn't working, I told the guy. He came in, this was many years ago, and he said, it's your attic.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, what do you mean? He says, your air conditioner working fine. It cannot overcome that attic. And he says, your attic's all closed up. He said, you need to punch some vents in there, and you need to get a fan in there. And I swear to God, it was like I got a brand new air conditioning system.
Yeah, that heat load on the ceiling of your house is something not to ignore. That's why we do it.
So Garrett understands that so well. And when I talk to a lot of homeowners, they just don't believe it, but he's so right. We see attic temperatures in the 150-degree range. Do you agree with that, Garrett?
Oh, absolutely. And it's just baking on that ceiling inside your house.
Absolutely. If you have a 150-degree attic and you're in the upstairs in a bedroom or something like that, and you're wondering why that air conditioning wasn't working like at your house, Tom, yeah. The air conditioner just cannot keep up with that heat load that's coming through the ceiling.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and we run across so many people, other companies that just come in and give a price on the existing equipment. They don't do a heat load calculation. They don't measure the windows. They don't take into account the amount of insulation in the attic. And it's honestly, it's just kind of frustrating these days.
So now let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. What can you do about that in the roof? You can do that with that attic fan, right?
That's right. There needs to be proper ventilation in the roof. There has to be air inlets. Those are generally going to be in the soffit, which is that board that goes between the gutter and the main house. And you want to make sure that you have proper inlet, because if you don't have enough air coming in, no matter what you have up top, whether it's fans or attic vents or a fan, right, it's not going to be able to.
So that fan runs on solar, right?
There's no draft, is what you're saying.
No draft at all. There's different types of attic fans. You can have an electric one that's hooked up to the electric system of the house, and that's a good deal as comparison to running that AC. The AC is so much more expensive than just running a fan. Or the ones that I really like is a solar-powered attic fan. That solar-powered attic fan requires no wiring at all. We install it up on top of the roof, and it works. I've had people call me up to say, my fan's not working. We go out there, the fan is working. It's just so quiet. You can't hear it when you're in the house. So the attic fans are such a good deal for people in order to keep their houses cool.
Okay, we have more coming up. 303-713-TALK.
Now, impact traffic.
This report is sponsored by...
Yeah, we're going to start offering those too. I don't want to hire a roofer.
It's a different, all of a sudden you're getting a different ball of wax.
I know. I actually hired 2 ex-roofers here. Like, we can do it. I was like, I don't want to pay the insurance. We're good. So, if they ever have to refer somebody, they're going to do.
I appreciate it.
It's just
We'll do the same, too.
It's just not. I mean, we're doing the HVAC system, you know.
Yeah.
I don't want to send someone on the roof to hold it out, you know. But you're there. That's your job.
Just like neither one of us want to do the insulation. We sell it. I get it. Some people do it. Attic insulation. Attic insulation is it's a messy job. Even if you use a spray foam, spray foam is kind of a different animal. You spray that on the right side.
That's a huge different animal too, because you could
All right. I love when you can fight insurance companies. We have Jay here. We're talking about roofing claims, and sometimes you don't get enough. Claims Pro is one of those people that we have on our referral list that we refer people to. If you are undervalued in a claim, you don't even know if you are. Give him a call, let him know. And if he can help you, he'll let you know. That's Claim Pro. Peter in the Denver office, publicadjuster.pro, publicadjuster.pro, or call 833-252-4600. That's 833-252-4600. Public adjuster and public adjusters are a necessity, in my opinion, nowadays. Publicadjuster.pro. What about RVs? Well, there's no supply chain issue at Century RV. I don't know how they're doing it, man, but they're keeping up. They have loads of travel trailers, fifth wheels, and pop-ups, whatever you need, Class A's. And all you have to do is drive up there to exit 240 and I-25. That's the Longmont exit, and then you take the frontage road on the east side there. They're just south of that exit. CenturyRV.com, 303-453-1111. Aggressively priced with discounts. Yeah, they're fighting inflation. They're fighting supply chain for you. And they're one of the few RV places that can do it. CenturyRV.com, and that's 303-453-1111.
So many people have told me about Orchard, and no wonder. It's the new way to sell. For example, Orchard makes you a cash offer for your home. And
I'm listening.
I would say
I gotta
employee
hear
retention
this.
is all about the
If they can hear us.
culture, honestly.
It's what is it about?
Company culture. It's, I mean, they can go somewhere else for 50 cents more, $1 more, but it's the company culture that you care about their families, you care about them, you give them the time off they want, you throw the parties, you take them out. But I mean, as far as raises, you have to give your employees raises every so often. It's just you don't ever give an employee a raise if they stay. They'll be gone in 6 months anyway.
Troubleshooter Show, what's your first name?
Yeah. He says, I'm leaving or I'd give me a raise. Fucking go.
No, this is Suze.
I'm not saying someone comes to you and says, give me a raise on
Is this Daff?
Oh.
Oh, hey, Daff, how's it going?
You feel the pain of people on 60 salary inflation now.
I didn't give any raises during the COVID year. I guarantee everybody knows.
Okay, I'll put the bug in his ear.
I gave everybody.
Okay.
Reasonable.
All right, girl, I'll tell him.
About
Sure, no
almost
problem. Have a good day.
exactly the same thing I
Bye.
did. We didn't lay anybody off, didn't fire anybody, just kind of made it through it. They stuck with us, spend money on training with them, and they are taught how to make more money, you know?
That's why it wasn't. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
So silly issue question. I don't have an addict.
Oh.
Yeah. Everything is vaulted. So is there anything that you've done?
Let's find out.
I don't want to pose a question that can't be answered on the air.
No, it's okay. We'll ask.
That's the key to having a good solid team.
Get iPhone 13 on the doctor's office. I think the 3 people I kept most over 15 years.
Did you see this voice?
Hey, Tom, can you explain how to do the QR code one more time? Because we got people calling the office saying, put me in.
I know it. And here's the problem.
It's just ridiculous.
There's no easy. Okay.
I mean, they're just listening.
Okay. I'm going to tell you what happened. Okay. Let me tell you what happened. Their app, the online crashed from so many people. That's what happened. They said they're getting in there and they're trying to fix it. They said thank you for letting us know. They said we had so many.
Just say that on air and just hit it next month.
Yeah. I'm gonna do it. You know what? I'm gonna tell them to do that. I'm gonna tell them. Okay, I'm gonna tell them to do that. You know what? I got an idea.
Yeah.
I have an idea. I got an idea.
Cool. Thank you. They're driving my office crazy. I can't get free stuff.
Safeway and City Market.
Grill it, fry it, put it in parm, as long as you make it Redbird Farms.
And that's also why they didn't want a radio station. Yeah. I'm gonna go for Instagram.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Listen, folks, a lot of people are calling wanting to be in on the $500 gas drawing. I just have to tell you this. We're going to do it right after the noon hour, and I know a lot of you are trying to find the QR code, but I have good news for you, okay? We're going to keep that QR code alive, and we're going to do another drawing, okay? We're going to do another drawing, and that same QR code. So here's what you do to find it, okay? Right now, they had so many inquiries that it kind of crashed. So we're going to do another drawing because of that. So when you get a chance, you do moneymailer.com. You go into the Denver area where you are, wherever you are, and you can put in your zip and then put in heating and air and look for 888 heating, okay? Heating and AC is the category. Look for 888 heating. They have a coupon, and on that coupon is a QR code. Or if you see Money Mailer, which is my mailer, my 5x8, I send it out every month, and it's sent out, and it has a QR code on his coupon. 888 Heating's coupon, and I promise you we'll do another call. So don't, if you missed out on this one, don't be sad. I'm going to keep that same QR code, and we're going to do it again in about a month, okay? No matter what. And we're going to give away an extra one. So you stay tight on that, and we will take care of you. Okay, so after the noon hour, we will do a drawing with the entries we now have. If you still want to enter, you can. The QR code will not go away. It will still be active. So you look for the 888 heating coupon inside the Money Mailer, scan that code. And trust me, this is a legit deal, and we're not going to sell your information. The other thing is, or you can go to moneymailer.com, put in your zip code, put in heating and AC, and look for 888 heating there. You'll see their coupon online. And again, that's probably down right now. So if you do it this afternoon or tomorrow, you will be in on the next drawing, okay? Now, as far as questions, we have a question about roofing. Vaulted roofs where there is no attic and it's hellaciously hot. Is there a way you can do, is there an insulation? Can you put on a deck that insulates it from the heat? What can you do with that? Or maybe a lighter color roof? I don't know. What can you do?
You can. The problem with
what one of those?
Vaulted ceilings is where that ceiling is normally, the drywall is nailed or screwed directly to the roof rafter. And so depending on the guy who built the place, if he didn't leave an air cavity in there to vent it, then you're looking at doing something else to provide the ventilation.
Or insulation maybe.
It would be insulation and ventilation is what it would be. What we do in the mountain sometimes, Tom, is we build a roof on top of a roof. In that roof on top of it, we provide an airspace in there.
Oh, okay.
So the air.
So you elevate a deck above the roof.
That's right. We put a couple 2x2s in there, new decking, new OSB or plywood, and then the roof on top of that, and it provides this air passage, and that will cool off a roof tremendously.
Okay.
Which helps a lot.
Comes up through the eaves or through the soffits?
That's right. And I mentioned this, that we do it in the mountains because that solves the ice damming problems. What happens with a lot of roofs is the heat passes through the ceiling of the house, and then it causes the snow to melt prematurely, and then you get these big ice dams around the perimeters. And so when we do that cold roof system, what it does is it prevents this heat transfer, and that way the whole roof stays cold, the snow stays up there, and you don't get those giant ice dams.
All right, so it's basically you build up the deck and you put an airspace there.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Is there any kind of insulation, though, that would cool a roof or not, or keep the sun from beating through it?
Sometimes we do put insulation. It's the foam insulation.
Okay.
And we can put that on top of the roof also.
And then you build it up. Okay.
That's right. Unfortunately, say 2 inches of the foam might only equal an R10. Whereas if we do attic insulation in a traditional attic, that 20 inches is going to be close to R50. So the bang for the buck, it's much better if you're able to do that attic insulation.
Okay, and then, of course, if you do have the attic, that attic fan is tremendous, especially the solar-powered one. Now, that's different than a whole house fan, okay? A whole house fan brings up all the heat, destratifies the air, and blows the heat out of the upper floors and through the attic. That's different. That's different. You might want both of those, actually. I'm Tom Martino. We got another couple of hours to go. 303-713-TALK. Get your calls in. We're going to choose the winner right after this.
Celeste, what would you like to talk to Tom about on
That'd
the
be
show
good to
today?
talk about the difference between that whole house fan and the attic fan inspection, because it seems like people get confused on that one.
With my sons, Henry and Al.
There
Shouldn't homeowners call their insurance for a roof inspection? The homeowner will get a claim.
They called me and said, "What the fuck are you doing?"
I said, "What do you mean?" They said, "Right, Alex, our website is down. The homeowner did.
These IPs.
Really?
Holy shit, that's good news. So many. Hits that they had problems, so it went down. They didn't see their search engine is it's not meant for that. It's meant for people searching.
Yeah.
It's not meant for like that.
And rush of people trying to get gas.
We looked it up and I wasn't finding it.
But we're gonna solve that problem.
Cool.
Sweet.
So we'll do one.
Portions of the volume program.
And again, if ever you have a problem, you can do it by phone. I love that.
Oh yeah, no, this is just a busy month.
Okay.
I told you. I told Henry on the way over here, I eat a banana and yogurt before I come in.
Okay.
I always eat an early breakfast. I'm just a breakfast guy when I work out. I have to eat also. But I have a banana and yogurt right before I come in because I'm starving by the time I show up.
Yeah, I ate twice before I came in here.
I ate twice and you got muscle too.
Yeah, at least 3 or 4 more meals to go. Get hungry pretty quick, man.
You're not cycling, are you?
No. No, bicycling, I thought you meant, but no. No, I do TRT though.
You know what cycling is, Henry?
I do TRT
I'm
though.
not saying it's necessarily. You can cycle on other stuff and it'll still make you hungry.
Oh, yeah, I do TRT through the hormone bros though.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Because I did cycle when I was younger, and it kind of messed me up.
How old are you?
40.
40?
Yeah. I did it in my mid-20s, and it got pretty crazy with it. But that was a group I ran with then, you know.
Yep.
Clarifying only American ballistic.
You live and learn.
Studies a badly damaged bullet that killed Palestinian American journalist Shireen Abu Akleh. That just a day after Palestinian leaders falsely accused Israel of manipulating.
We can get some more pictures. I'll go stand by Tom.
It's just dark.
Well, he likes it.
Yeah, he likes it dark.
Price also said he expects accountability
I like it dark.
from Israel from the IDF to take new steps to protect its property.
He's doing okay. Henry and I are Tom Martino's doing the radio show today. What's happening?
New pressure on the White House to broker the release of Brittany Griner. More than 1,100 black women leaders sending an open letter to the president and vice president urging they make a deal to release the WNBA star. Griner is on trial in Russia on drug smuggling charges. Will Reed, ABC News.
Okay.
If your friends are using Mr. Clean Freak spray,
Yeah, sure, that's
you
fine.
won't find grease on their stovetop, or soap scum in their bathtub, or tomato sauce splatter in their...
Yeah, you just coordinated all that. That's fine. Are you going to use the motorhome again?
Clean Freak is different than other spray cleaners. Its innovative spray nozzle delivers a powerful...
All right, you're welcome to if you want. I was just curious.
Working on contact, easily breaking down tough nuggets in seconds.
All right, yep, that's all we'll go. Okay.
Works for everyone.
This chair is pretty good. It says, do not remove this chair from the studio at 6:30K. I repeat, do not remove this chair. Got it? Do not remove this chair from the
Does it
studio.
say Chaos too cheap to buy a new good one?
Go sit down again.
Oh, look at Ross. So Ross got it from, he was advertising for an office supply company.
Ross hasn't been in this studio in months.
I'm surprised he didn't take it with him.
The 79-year-old fell while climbing the stairs to her apartment in the Columbine Towers on Sunday. The woman's attorney says other senior residents are trapped with no way to safely leave the building near Federal Boulevard and West Colorado Avenue. It could be a stormy day for parts of the Front Range today.
Give me some eyebrows.
Hail!
You got your own PR person, huh?
Yes.
Come out good?
Should go like this.
Some people get pregnant, get pregnant.
Get pregnant?
You're telling them to do something bad. I'm telling them to do something good.
Docs out there, hey everybody, go get laid.
It's good for your health, man.
The biggest mistake is not going to reports. All big city those Mormons all have 8 kids. I could have retired after 5 years.
For many years, they've had the highest. Utah's always had the highest birth rate.
Oh yeah, because the Mormons.
You know, he was a gynecologist.
Kind of put that together, but thanks for the confirmation. Go get pregnant.
I like that. That's a great one. Hey, those are some really good checks. You knew I'd have one with my eyes closed. I'm famous for closing my eyes in pictures.
I'm famous for like not knowing cameras there and looking right at it. Like every time. It's like, oh, damn it.
So Garrett, the weirdest thing that ever happened in my practice,
With the strawberry
they calls up and says about the member, they're coming late. You want their office. Check it out. So she comes in,
video and
sounds like you're early labor. Early labor delivery, and I'll meet you there after work. I go there after work. We got a call. My husband dropped her off. 2 hours later, he goes, I'm in Grand Junction. I'm moving to California. Have a good life.
Oh.
Pregnant wife, in labor, and drove to California.
He's going to take some pictures of you.
That's crazy.
Isn't that bizarre?
He's got a kid on the way. Just like,
so, do you remember that?
I'm going to California.
That television
wow.
commercial?
Talk about being left alone. Holy cow, that's crazy. What did she do? What'd she do?
And you were like, you're going to shoot the commercial?
Well, I didn't get to know the brothers that much. He's like, yeah, because they can't maybe 2 or 3 times. So the women out.
Yeah, they go all the time. That's crazy.
Technology. They have great.
I never heard a story like that before. That's nuts.
One thing I forgot to ask you, if Fuller is scheduled for the 15 spot block, do I call him during the 15 and you'll bring him one after that, or do you want him ahead of the 15?
He better be ahead and sitting there, a little ahead.
Little ahead, so I'll call him like 10 after then?
You know, I don't know, 12, 13. I mean, as long as he's there.
How's your call log doing today? Slow?
Yeah, for some reason. Yes. Yes.
Many calls come in.
No, I mean, it's never like this.
Last time it was a good one. So now it's all insurance.
I think it has to do with the roofer being here.
Well, it's the roofer. All they ask about is insurance now. It's like,
I really don't know what it is. I mean, it really is.
I know absolutely nothing about insurance. I have a broker for that.
I have a question.
Okay.
Does anybody know the answer to this? If you're a place where there's Wi-Fi available, does your phone, does the quality of your phone have any effect on you getting disconnected or reconnected, or is it just the function of the Wi-Fi?
Only if you're attached to open Wi-Fi at your phone. If it goes to public, like you turn that off, obviously. But if you have a public Wi-Fi cell service, yeah, like Comcast does a lot of that.
Hey, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show. I'm Tom. We're solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints, and making your life just a little easier. This hour brought to you by Water Pros, the best water systems at the lowest prices. And everyone needs a water system nowadays, unfortunately. Our drinking water, even our plants, our drinking treatment facilities tell you, our water treatment facilities tell you should filter the water. That's really scary. Anyway, they have beautiful filters, a triple filter reverse osmosis system that goes under the sink in the kitchen and has a spigot on top. It's beautiful, and it's under $1,000 fully installed. That's waterpros.net. Do it, waterpros.net. And, you know, I don't often give out that number because I figure you can go there, but here's the number if you want it, 303-862-5554. 303-862-5554. Okay, so listen, we're going to give away the gasoline in a couple minutes here. I had a few more entries spill in, so I'm going to give them a chance. They found your coupon, 888-HEATING, inside the money mailer, so I'm going to give them the benefit, and I'm going to put them in here.
I would say it's hard to miss it. It's the best looking coupon in the whole thing.
Right. Well, it's got the QR code for the free gas, and that makes it really attractive. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to give it away, and we're going to call them. And so I'm going to first, if we have phone calls, of course, I'm going to take the phone calls, and then we will do that. Gasoline, $500. We'd like you to come in and take it, but we'll get it to you one way or another. Rose, what's going on with you, Rose? I'm Tom Martino. What's happening?
Well, I tell you what, my son just feels so victimized.
Why does your son feel victimized, Rose?
Well, I'll tell you. In 2020, he had 2 Silverado trucks stolen from his parking lot. So he saved some money and bought a newer vehicle that had a key fob and had all the bells and whistles, so he didn't have to worry so much somebody stealing it. Well, last week, somebody totaled it out in his driveway.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. He's been crying.
So, wait, did he have collision coverage?
Yes, but his insurance, yes, is going to pay. But they're paying extremely short. Of course, this was a Ram 2500 diesel, so they're paying it really short. Thank goodness he has gap insurance. But the thing is, he has a payment that's due in 2 days. My question, if he pays that $1,000 payment and then his insurance calls in for a payoff and gap insurance, he's lost another $1,000.
Hold on, that's a good, you know what, Rose, that is a really good issue that I've never had come up before. Do you know that? Do you know how rare that is, Rose? That I've never had that come up. So not quite so soon where the payoff where the insurance may cover it, but then he has a payment due. So you hold on, because I'm going to ask. Yeah. I want to ask our insurance experts, Compass, if we can. They might have a comment on that, and then I'll figure it out with what they tell me, and then just common sense. But hold on, though. Don't go away on that one. And, yeah, that's very interesting. What would you do, Jay? If you got – Jay Bretz is with Excel Roofing. He's a guest today, along with Garrett with 888 Heating, the gas man. He's going to be giving away gasoline. And he also has we should mention, by the way, we always say go to his coupon in the money mailer. And when you find his coupon, there's a QR code that you scan. You put in your name and your number. And by the way, folks, if you can't find it online, the site went down because we had so many people in Denver trying to get there, honest to God. So if you get there tomorrow, or don't worry, I will still include that QR code for the next drawing we're going to do. In fact, there will be an extra drawing. So please still continue to scan that. But on that topic, I keep saying go and scan the QR code, and he's saying, well, wait a minute, Tom. What about the coupon itself? What do you have on the coupon this month?
Well, the coupon this month, I just looked it up here. It's on the back. It's got the $300 in free gas. We got
$500 free gas.
Yeah, $500 in free gas. We got the $58 off of any repair. We got a special for our AC performance check and tune-up for $88.
Yes.
We got $2,088 off of a new system.
Okay, cool.
Okay, you can also finance that also, and then $588 off of any single AC or furnace.
Okay, so there's more than just $500 in gas. Now, Jay, what were we talking about?
We were talking about whether I would make the payment coming up in 2 days or not.
What would you do?
I wouldn't make the payment, but I would.
I wouldn't either. Because the insurance,
and I would tell them.
This is a weird one.
It is.
I don't know if I don't know what I would do. I got to ask Brian Burns. Brian, listen, if your truck is outside your house in your driveway, whatever. Anyway, some drunk driver crashes through it and ruins it. Okay, it's totaled. No matter how it happened, it's totaled. Your insurance company is going to pay. And he has gap insurance. It's going to pay. Yeah. Now he has a car payment due today or tomorrow. And the accident just happened. What would you do? I mean, will the insurance pay? I would say not make the payment and let gap and insurance take care of it. What would you do?
I wouldn't pay it because you're usually paying a month in advance. So you're paying for the month coming up. And if the car is totaled and no longer of use, then you shouldn't have to pay the loan payment for the upcoming month.
Rose?
Well, I went to the bank this morning, and they told me that if I didn't want a late payment, a late fee, and if it wasn't settled by the end of the month on my credit, I will make that payment.
You know what? Forget what they're telling you, okay? Because that late fee is not going to be anything, and you can always pay the late fee. But for them to be that mean, that's ridiculous. You tell them they're about to get paid off.
I did. I told them, and I even gave.
When do you think that payoff will happen? When do you think that payoff will happen?
I don't know. They're kind of dragging their feet.
Rose, did you say you weren't happy with how much money they were giving you?
No, but then there's gap.
Yeah, okay. So I was going to have petty details.
Yeah, but right now, they're not really you're going to have enough, Rose, this is going to be enough. We're not disputing the payoff at this point because that will extend it. That's what Deputy Doc was saying. If you're fighting the payoff, it's going to extend it a month or two. Are you fighting the payoff?
Well, it's really under what the truck is valued, but they're not budging, so I guess...
Who's your carrier?
My son's carrier is State Farm.
That's why. They suck. Now, what I would do, this is what I would do, okay? You have gap insurance as well, right, Rose?
Right.
So what's the gap going to pay? Have you talked to them?
They're going to pay the difference to pay off the loan.
But you wanted him to have money beyond that.
Well, that would be nice.
Okay, but here's the quandary you're in, and Brian Burns will maybe back me up on this from Compass Insurance or tell me if I'm wrong. Rose, let's analyze this. How much is the primary insurance offering?
$48,000.
$48,000. Okay. How much is the gap paying?
Well, they'll have to pay about $7,000.
Okay. Now, here's what I want to tell you. Even if you got your primary insurance to go up $7,000, you're going to be in the same exact position you're in right now.
Yeah, they're not going to overpay it.
No.
So you're not going to get.
Yeah.
I mean, really, I think if it was me, I would probably just settle the way it is right now, not pay it, and just take that. That's what I would do. I would try to get it settled as soon as possible.
Okay.
Brian?
Okay.
Yeah, the only thing I would tell you, Tom, I agree with you. I would say the only thing is if the car is worth in excess of that, used car prices are crazy now. So
well, that's what my son told him.
Well, okay, if it's way more, hold on. If it's worth way more, it is, then what you do is this. You're going to postpone it. There's going to be a car payment. So you're going to have to maybe make the car payment, contact a professional valuator like Petty Details, and let them help you fight this to get more money. But that's only if this truck is worth substantially more. You can find out free by going to PettyDetailsLLC.com, and you can find out free if the offer between the two is worth it.
Tom, why is she going with her insurance?
Okay.
Did you find the person who totaled your son's car?
Yeah. He stayed on the site when the police came.
No, what I'm saying is, why aren't they paying?
Yeah, why aren't you suing
they
it?
Just said, okay, he has Progressive, the guy that hit, and they said he's very uninsured. They're not paying anything.
All right, hold on. I'm not hearing. Okay, you're getting so screwed, Rose. Hold on. Okay, Brian, if you could hold for us, we need to give better details. We need to figure out what's going on. This sounds like they're getting screwed royally.
Yeah, I mean, why is the other person should be responsible, not her insurance?
They're saying she said he wasn't insured.
Hold on. When do I take 1 minute? Thank you, got it.
Yeah, if he's uninsured, her insurance company should cover it because she has uninsured motorist coverage.
You see it?
Right, yeah, guys. When I'm doing, listen, do me a favor, seriously. When I'm doing a spot, I'm not doing it now. But when I'm doing a spot, I really can't have noise because it comes through. Okay.
Yeah. What makes them different?
Yeah, I get it. Okay, coming up. All right, I'm with John Fuller, my personal injury expert for my show, My Accident Lawyer. In fact, his website is myaccidentlawyer.co. John, listen, I always talk about calling John Fuller and that you're different. So why don't we just explain when we talk about being different, okay, what do we mean?
Yeah, Tom, I just listened to that poor lady's call, and it just exemplifies everything that we that we stand for here. Everywhere we go today, we get crappy service. Everywhere we go, if it's the home store, if it's a car dealer, everywhere we get crappy service. We strive to not deliver crappy service. We have a team that we dedicate to every single case that we have here. And guess what? You get the guy's name who's on the front door. I'm the only attorney here. I supervise and manage every single case that we have, and you get me. You can't say that about some of the big TV firms. Do you think that Joe Blow that's on TV every 8 seconds is actually handling your case? No, it gets assigned out to some junior attorney, and you may get 3 of them before you're done with the complete processing of your case. Here's the bottom line, Tom. Anybody can claim to get any dollar amount for any case. That's the easy part. The question is, how much money did they put in our client's pocket? How did they handle the medical care? How did they deal with the bills? Who got paid back and how much was left over at the end? That's the really important thing that defines whether or not an attorney is good or is bringing value to the table. And that's what we try to do most of all in our practice.
And what about communication? John, one of the complaints we get, I didn't hear from my attorney. I don't know the status of my case. How do you overcome that?
Hey, Tom, for 20 years, my personal cell number has been on my business card. And a lot of people think, oh, that's just crap. That's a burner business phone. It's not. It's my personal cell phone. If you have an issue, you need to get a hold of me. I am a phone call away. And believe me, my clients have called me and at all hours of the day and night. I would rather, directly get a call from a client and take care of an issue than to ever have somebody say, I could never get a hold of my attorney. That's crazy.
John Fuller, myaccidentlawyer.co. Call for an evaluation of your case, 303-597-4500. That's 303-597-4500. Now, while we're talking about good service, how do you beat Garage Kings? Listen to this. No money down ever. A guarantee for life on your garage floor coatings, or your walkways, pathways, pool decks, or your warehouse, commercial or residential. GarageKings.com, 720-252-0370. I love what Ideal Home Loans is doing right now. They are making you a cash buyer. Listen, cash offers go to the top. Now, you may be approved for a loan. Okay, but what do? You still can't make a cash offer. You're waiting for it to go through. What Ideal does is puts in a cash offer in your name, and they'll actually pay it as long as you qualified. And then you may end up closing with your actual loan funds or not, but you have the strength of Ideal Home Loans behind you. They are mortgage bankers in a unique position to do this. Other lenders can't do that, because they're not mortgage bankers. They make you a cash buyer. That's right. Go and find out more. Of course, they do regular refis as well to get you out of high-interest credit card debt and all of that. IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867-7000.
Any good calls on the log? Any good calls on the log?
2? Oh, shit. Shit.
Man, that's usually longer. Okay, I think because we do that 2 minutes with John. What's warranty? Is he still doing business? That is the thing you always do.
Now we're getting calls. Bye. Oh, we got to do your thing. Okay, I got the random number generator, and then I'm going to count them, and we're going to have some fun. So I want you to randomize this.
He's back. Watch him, Mark's back.
I know, but he's not back. I wanted to go pee, and he could start, but I got to give away the gas. Okay, so what I want you to do, Garrett, is I want you to hit randomize when I tell you to on that. What's that? No, you're not going to get the name. You're going to get a number. Can you pronounce your numbers?
I can try. You need my mom's number?
It's not Monday.
So then I got to see. I got a shitload. They're finding your code. I got a shitload being sent. God damn it. Now it makes it more complicated for me. I got to transfer him to this random thing that we're going to choose. So hold on. Let me do this right now.
It's only maxed up to 135.
Oh, that's a page. then I pick from the page.
Cool.
That's why we're doing that. Hold on.
It says to shake it.
No, okay, let me change that. I got new people. I got to change that. I got to make sure it's fair, so I got to change the. See, what happens is when I fill up, this is to pick the page, then I just go down. Otherwise, it would be crazy because then I got to count every frickin'.
Do you want me to just say it to you and keep this off? Or do you want me to just say it to you and keep this off?
No, keep it on stage because you're the one doing it.
Right.
I think those are going to be his most beneficial stocks.
Okay, guys, ready? I'm Tom Martino. Now we're going to give away $500 in gas. Garrett from 888 Heating sponsors this. He's the gas man. So, and we're going to go right back to our important call. But right now, what I want you to do is hit that random generator.
All right.
And then give me the number. And then I'm going to find the page. And then we have another random. Go ahead.
65.
65. Page 65. Hold on. I got to count. Now.
Mark Major.
Okay, 65. And then what I want you to do is now you got to hit another one when I tell you so I can get the one on that page. So
gotcha.
Because we have so many pages of people. I'm finding the page. Okay, so hold on while I do it. I'm sorry. Mark, why don't you talk to well, let's take the call while I'm doing this, okay? And then I'll call him live. Why don't you take the one where the Tom on the gap insurance?
All right, Tom, put him back up for me.
Oh, I'm sorry. There we go. Tom is.
Hey, Tom, what's your comment on the gap insurance?
Go ahead, Tom.
Well, my wife works for a major dealership, and she deals with Gap all the time. You make that car payment because if there's any question on if the Gap is current or not, they can refuse paying the Gap, which will cover the difference of what's not.
Oh, because that is very smart.
Yeah, but go to Brian Burns about that. I actually addressed that with Brian.
Hey, Brian, you heard what Tom just said. So if she does miss that payment, that could get rid of that Gap insurance?
Yeah, and that's what I was just talking to Dan.
Yeah,
the insurance piece is that if the insurance,
that's
if
really
in effect
good.
At the time of loss, then it's going to pay. What I don't know and why you wouldn't probably risk it is I'm assuming like insurance, property casualty insurance, you're always paying for the month ahead. But if this gentleman is saying that that's not necessarily the case, I wouldn't.
It's not worth getting risky about it.
Okay,
I would not
a lot of dough. But let's look up. Well, hold on. Wait, she can make the payment though. Let's look up the value, Mark. Okay, so let's find out about this truck.
Details. That's who we have.
Now, by the way, I need you to generate the second number right now. The second number. Oh, I'll take it and do it. Okay. Okay, so go ahead. Tell us about the truck so we can figure out what it's worth. Mark, why don't you look up what she tells you right now and then look up the value while we're doing this.
Rose, what is it?
Gosh, it's a 2014 Ram.
Troubleshooter show. What is your first
Dodge
name?
Ram, 2014 Dodge Ram.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes,
Fernando, hi,
and it's
2500. I'd like to talk to Tom about it on the show today.
Kit. It has the cover for the bed.
What is that worth, roughly, Mark?
Wait, what kind of Dodge Ram is it, though? A 1500
or
what?
Him. Hang on a minute.
2500, yeah. 2014.
Yeah.
You looking it up, guys?
Yeah.
What do you think? How many miles on it?
Heated front and back.
Okay, how many? Well, let's just say loaded. How many miles on it?
I think about 80.
About 80,000 miles?
Uh-huh.
Henry's looking it up, too. Jay's son, Henry Brett. Do you have it there, Henry? Okay, look, Mark.
Second, man.
All right, so while we're doing that, let's take. We got a winner, by the way. We should call live on the air. We do have a winner, but let me go to. Fernando's got a question about the gas. Hold on there, guys, and when we get a value, Fernando, what's your question about the gas giveaway, sir?
Yeah, how are we supposed to enter into the contest?
Okay, I'm going to tell you, all right? And because we're going to have another one. So even if you miss this one, because I have a winner, you can get the next one. And here's what it is. If you don't have the money mailer, we mailed it out to 270,000 homes. If you didn't get it, money mailer, inside there's 888 Heating has a coupon with a QR code on it. And you scan that QR code into your phone and then just fill out your name and your number, and then we call you if you're a winner. But let me explain this. Here's the other way to do it. If you don't get the money mailer at your house, you can go to moneymailer.com, put in your zip code, okay? And then search heating and AC and look for 888 Heating's coupon online. Then you can scan the code from your computer onto your phone. But I want to say something, and this is important. The moneymailer.com site seems to be down because it had so many people going there to enter. So you might have to do it later or tomorrow. But don't worry, you'll still get in on the contest, the next one, okay? Now, do we have a value? Okay, what are you saying the value is? Help me here, bro. What is that? 41 probably, right? Without the lift kit. So let's say 43, 44. Karen, what did you say they were offering? Rose, what did you say they were offering you?
Yeah. I believe 48. So
yeah, I think, listen, I'm telling you, man, even with increased prices today, does that reflect increased? Is that cars.com? Because that reflects real market.
Yeah, that is real.
Okay, that's real market. I think you better just leave well enough alone. But about that payment, oh my goodness, I never thought of that. If you miss a payment, so he may have to make that payment. Rose? Then, Brian, what would happen if, okay, they're going to argue if he doesn't make the payment, it's an artificially high gap, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, the thing is it's just absolutely not worth it if she doesn't make the payment and they come back and say, oh, it was canceled and we're paying in arrears. So, I mean, there's just no reason.
She's paying the gap insurance in that payment. She doesn't make the payment. She doesn't have gap.
You're going to have to make, listen, you're going to have to make the payment. I am so sorry that we didn't have better news for you. Okay, now we have a winner. Okay, now here's the rules, and I said the rules. You have to be there to answer it, and if you're not, I'm sorry, but then we go on to someone else. But here is the winner right now, and I'm going to call him live on the air. Okay, okay. And if you didn't get it, I'm going to call, and they agree to be called live on the air.
How do you beat?
Okay, let's see if.
And forwarded to an automated voice message.
Well,
dang it.
We have to pick another one. I'm sorry. Had your chance. Now, we'll do that right after this.
Are you?
Yes. Okay, Mark, can you do these spots? I really got to go.
All right. Okay, they're all done. Okay. Done.
I mean, you know,
whatever.
How bad?
How bad? Tell us, Tom.
Jim, you're up next. Hang on.
It's such a difficult thing to estimate car prices because, like,
well, there's so many different cars.
If it's a fully loaded tradesman, it's like worth like.
Hey, can I talk to Rose for a second?
She hung up.
Okay. I want to find why is her insurance company, if her son's truck was in his driveway, why is his insurance company paying him, not the other people?
Because I have no idea what she lost
insurance.
Right.
Okay.
Or she said severely underinsured.
I don't know what
but I think
account
it was
she
they
uses.
didn't have insurance.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
So I couldn't figure out why she's
That's
doing
why.
with her company.
Yep.
If I do it, I'll screw it up.
Forced to.
It'll show up at this point.
This summer, fire up your imagination with Apple. Listen to comments.
Okay, hold on, guys.
Everything you want in audio entertainment. All in the Audible app. Sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com.
Safe, effective, less water, zero residue. What am I talking about? I'm talking about zero res. And right now, you want those carpets to look brand new and beautiful. I want you to reach out to them. They got a deal going on we call a screaming deal. You get 3-room areas for just $119. You can multiply that throughout your house. But listen, winter's gone. You're going to have barbecues. You're going to have everything going on. You might have pets. It's time to get rid of those germs, those pathogens, get those carpet cleaned the zero res way. And did you know that is a patented process? They clean carpets without soaps, shampoos, or any harsh chemicals, and they use less water. And of course, that makes everything dry quicker. ZeroResDenver.com or reach out right now. 3 rooms, $119. 303-471-5150.
Here's to the great American settlers.
Where's your camera now?
That would be a Talib question.
Yeah.
You want to see me do the Tom imitation?
What's that?
Unbelievable.
Did you get your Zooms done?
I did, actually.
There you go.
Thank you.
All sorts of content for a website. Sorry to mess this stuff up.
Yes.
There's somebody online.
Oh, pardon me. Okay. Let's see here. Troubleshooter show. What is your first name?
You don't do any
Julie,
commercial, huh?
in a sentence or
Garrett?
less. What would you like to talk to Tom about on the show today?
Like that Black Rock coffee one I sent you?
I do not.
Hit and run advice. Hang tight. Listen to the phone.
Yeah.
We're set up for something else.
Yep.
I am trying to look happy. Hey, you.
I don't have to snap, so you want more? Did you get enough? Oh, take a picture together. It's so dark.
Do you see K-How in it?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want him to edit that out?
No, we don't have a flag on
I'm
this
about
one.
to start slapping you. I'm going to hit you in your back or something. That shit won't be funny.
You know the one we always use in advertising, they use on your banner. Did you see it?
The one where you're kissing me?
Yeah, it looks a little...
That one surprised the hell out of me.
Oh, now I'm getting so many entries right now. Here's the thing. It'll be, I'm going to keep them. Oh, shit. You know what? That just shows you, though, that the radio show's working.
So much
Oh, that's a nice, man, that's a beautiful fucking camera, man.
That's my phone.
If you can make Mark look good, then I'll really go.
Hey, is there a way to actually get a physical gas card and have them come to my office and like take a picture in front of my code of ethics wall?
We can do that for sure.
Awesome.
But if you want to do that, we can.
Yeah.
I'd have to give you the money to do it because it's built in, so you don't have to pay it. But here's the other thing. I was thinking. What I was doing is taking it upon myself. I was going to have them come here, and then you do it on the air. But I don't care if you do it there.
I'd like to get pictures at my office, just a quick photo, put on the website.
You're
Facebook,
right. That would be a good one. That would be a good one. And then circular.
Yeah. I could put it on some ads.
You know what? You're right. We could do that. That would be cool.
I don't know if you want to come down or not. But
No,
cool.
I would actually.
Yeah.
I will. Okay.
Cool.
But then you'll buy the card. I'll just give you the.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just get a 7-Eleven gift card.
Well, I want to make sure it's
gas.
No, it doesn't have to be. I mean, as long as it could be a prepaid Visa, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
Anything. Yeah, anything. I Venmo'd the last guy because we could not get together. I was trying to get him to come on the air.
If they can't make it to my office to pick it up, that's fine.
I know, but we should try.
It would be really cool to try it. Maybe we get.
So what I'm going to do now is do another random. I'll just do it over here. You don't have to worry about it.
That's Orchard.com. Denver's talk station. Online at jhelp.com.
Hi, Tom Martino. Okay, we tried to give the gas away, and she didn't answer, so we're going to do it again with another random number generator. And so you just got to hold on. I'm sorry. We're going to give away $500 in gas. Now, Jay Bretz is with us from Excel Roofing, and, of course, 888 Heating. Garrett Weiler, what we call the gas man. So let's talk about, from Jim, about the tenant that won't leave. Oh, this is a nightmare. Jim, what's going on with you?
It's been about 2 months.
Uh-oh.
And, actually, we had a lease agreement. He did not sign the lease agreement.
Did he ever pay? Did he pay anything?
Actually, he's been a tenant for the last 2 years. And then the lease agreement expired, and we were having him sign a new one. However, he never signed it, and all of a sudden has been holding rent.
A victim.
And he's basically a squatter sitting there, or in our unit, has been for over 2 months.
Why didn't you do an eviction? I'm curious about that.
Well, that's exactly what we're looking to do. They're telling us, Jefferson County, that the courts are held up and it's just taking a long time. And we'll be getting a court date soon, but 2 months. And then now I just found out that it may be another 45 days before we can actually get the sheriff out there.
I can call my cousin Vinny. I'm just kidding. Oh, man. Oh, God. Nowadays, it's crazy what you feel like doing sometimes. But
Tom, so you say that jokingly. Yeah. What would happen if he went over to that house, if he waited until they left and he went in there?
Okay, listen, I'm going to tell you something.
Big trouble.
No, hold on now. Hold on, Mark, because I want to explore it. I'm not recommending it for sure, but I'm going to tell you something. Let's explore this. If he went over there when he's not home and put his crap out and locked the doors and changed the locks, okay?
Let's say he doesn't even put all this stuff out on the curb.
No, I'm just saying.
But he changes the locks.
He locks them out. Okay, yep. Mark says big trouble. By who, Mark? The police won't arrest him.
I'll tell you exactly who. I'm looking it up.
No, here. Is it improper? Yes. But when you say big trouble, they can't have, police won't go to Home Depot for people filling up carts.
There's actually consequences now. I got to find it. It's part of that new stuff.
Okay, but he
has last year.
Okay, so you don't think it's up to him to take civil action. You think automatically there's an agency that's going to respond, the tenant police.
Absolutely not. I'm saying if he goes in there and changes the locks, exactly what Jay said, he faces massive fines.
Okay, by who?
By the city.
Okay, I want to see that.
Or maybe the state. I'm not sure.
Okay, Mark, what about if he went in there and started painting the place? Or doing some kind of maintenance, the floors?
Carpet.
Yeah, any of that. What would happen? Isn't it a landlord's right to be able to go into their property?
It might have used to have been.
Well, maybe the squatter just has new carpets now.
He might get new carpets, but it just seems to me that you'd have the right to be able to go into your own property and do some maintenance.
We have a new winner. So I'm going to go get a new winner. But you know what? I don't know what to tell you, Jim. Why don't you do an eviction? Oh, at least start the eviction, okay? Start the eviction.
It has been started. It did. In fact, they said go ahead and post an eviction notice, and nothing has happened. But what if I decided to go over and turn off the air conditioning system?
And the electric and the water.
You know what?
You guys, you better get our property management on before
this
poor guy ends up in jail.
Let's get O'Brien on. Let's get O'Brien Legal Services. And Mark, he's asking questions. There's nothing wrong with asking questions.
No, we've just been down this road.
Well, I don't remember about the utilities. Let's ask O'Brien Legal Services. We'll try to get him on. Hold on, bro. Let's try to get you some legal advice here. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. If you have anything, guys, just chime right in. Do you have something?
Yeah. A landlord who illegally locks out a tenant risks being sued for damages and losses.
Sued.
The right to exercise a lien. This means that although in some circumstances a landlord can hold your personal property.
Okay, but hold on now. Hold on.
If he can't afford rent, how could he afford to sue him?
That's the point I was making. Here's what I think would happen. You have to take civil action against the landlord. If he can't get an attorney to represent him, but he probably will find an attorney somewhere because that attorney knows they can win if he did it. Because you're not supposed to lock someone out without a proper eviction. So then an attorney might think,
this is ColoradoLegalServices.org. It says the first thing you do if you've been locked out by your landlord is call the cops.
Yeah, but what the cops going to do? Cops don't practice civil law. They don't, Mark. They don't. You think the cops are going to say, you better open that door right now?
Yeah. What if you turn off all their utilities? I think
they might. Okay.
So turn the heating off, the electricity. I mean, why would they want to live in a place that they can't?
Yeah, but I don't know if you can do that.
You can't do that.
Well, does it talk about that, though? That's what I want to talk to Brad O'Brien about. He's up on the law. So hang on, Jim, and we'll try to get you some answers here. I want to call our new winner. And again, if you don't answer, you don't win. So let's do it. Okay, $500 in gas.
Gasoline.
Yeah, gasoline. You get $500 in gas.
Good clarification.
Hold on. Shh. I tell them on the entry, you got to be ready to get a call.
Hello?
Catherine, this is Tom Martino, and you just won $500 in gasoline.
Yay!
Yes, and we're on the air, so don't say any expletives we can't have on the air. We're on the radio show. Garrett is here. 888 Heating sponsored it. Garrett, there's your winner right
Awesome.
there.
Congratulations.
Oh, Garrett, thank you so much. That's amazing.
I'm so happy you answered your phone because the first guy we picked did not answer the phone. So, Catherine, just remember this. You are the winner. We have it on the air. You're going to get $500. We're going to make arrangements. We'd love to have you, pick up the card and get a photo, but we'll do whatever is convenient for you. And believe me, it comes in handy this time of the year, doesn't it? Or this time of life.
It most certainly does.
What kind of vehicle do you have?
I have a Toyota Highlander.
Oh, you can use it for sure, right? Yep. Does that get pretty good gas mileage? Actually, about what? I'll bet you 16, doesn't it?
Isn't that a big
car? It's closer to 18 or 20.
Oh, that's good. That's good for a big vehicle.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. Okay, so Catherine Miller, this is Tom Martino. Garrett Weiler is with 888 Heating. He sponsored this. And thank you for scanning the code and Money Mailer. We appreciate everything.
Look forward to meeting you.
So I have your name and number. You don't have to do anything, but if you don't hear from me for some reason and you think I forgot, you can always call 303 Martino, which is 303-627-8466. It's 303 Martino, and say, hey, this is Catherine. I won the gas. What's going on? But you will hear from us, okay?
Okay, perfect.
We'll see you. All right, bye.
Woohoo, thank you so much. Bye.
Got it. Okay. Wow, I like it. We had a winner.
She was a good winner, too.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
Okay, let me make sure I record her.
But Mark, if it's your
It doesn't matter. You're making it.
you have the right to maintenance and everything.
No, you can.
I don't
a lot
really
of that's inside the lease, but that's got nothing to do with turning off the power and stuff. If you have a court order for eviction and the sheriff is showing up, you can do all that stuff.
I really don't.
You can't simply just do it though.
We told someone to do it. It was someone who wasn't paying rent. It was a son-in-law or somebody, some relative, and since they weren't paying rent, he was able to do that because there was no lease or anything.
I think you guys are thinking like back in the day or something.
No.
I'm not telling them to do it, Mark. I'm not telling them at all to do it. I'm just wondering what would happen if he does it with turning off utilities.
It depends how smart the tenant is.
Yeah, but if he's staying
Hold
there,
on, guys. I got to do this.
And he's still paying. What if he's still paying his utility bill?
Hold on.
$99 value with qualifying purchase.
You know, we talked to John Fuller during the last break or a couple of breaks ago, and he was talking about why he's different and how he supervises each and every claim and handles each and every claim. And his personal cell phone is on his business card, and he means it. He will keep track of your case and communicate with you. You'll always know the status. When it comes to personal injury, you could call anybody, of course. Put John Fuller on the list for sure. You should call him because he will make sure that you're treated as a person and not just a number where they cherry pick the biggest damages only. He will work any case and all cases that he accepts on a contingency fee basis. He's my accident lawyer here on the show. He can be your accident lawyer at myaccidentlawyer.co. That stands for Colorado, myaccidentlawyer.co. Call for a case evaluation, 303-597-4500, 303-597-4500. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. What is a free market analysis of your home? Well, he visits, he measures, he takes pictures, he looks up comps, and he sees what they actually sold for. It's not a wild guess like Zillow, or it's not an appraisal because many times your house will sell for more than the appraisal. So you can depend on Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, to give you an accurate valuation. And guess what? Complimentary. No obligation at all. 303-920-1622. 303-920-1622. All right, so we had this call, right, about how do I evict somebody? What am I going to do? We also have calls on easements. We also have calls on border disputes, eminent domain, adverse possession. Guess what? We have someone, our go-to guy is our real estate attorney, OLSlaw.com. That stands for O'Brien Legal Services. Brad O'Brien and his team can answer your real estate calls. They can take your real estate cases, and they can also review closing docs or loan docs, or when you have an owner financing or you want to finance the sale of your home. All of these things need to be done by a professional. OLSlaw.com. Call Brad, 720-370-7388. Okay. I hope we can get Brad on.
Was that first certificate comment about today, or was that put on today, or was that left over?
Can you hear me? It was just an update I had.
Okay. Okay.
No big deal either way.
Okay.
Join original cast members Danielle Fishel, Will Friedel, and Ryder Strong as they relive every episode, sharing memories, behind-the-scenes info, and more. None of us have seen episodes. Sarah, Jack, and I. So we'll be witnessing on.
It's my natural part.
He's not losing any hair, is he? Not at all, man. His dad, and by the way, yeah, that's not losing. His dad has a whole, doesn't your dad have a whole fucking head full of hair?
Really thin like yours.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
There's a generational skip or something going on here, Tom?
You know what? I hear you take after your mom anyway. That's what I heard. And my mom's hair was super thin.
He needs a replacement before this becomes a cruel summer.
It's true. All the men in my mom's family.
Troubleshooter Show, what is your first name?
Their head till the day they die.
Linda, hi. In a sentence or less, what would you like to talk to Tom about on the show today? Yes.
Well, no.
I wouldn't.
You don't think there's anything that can be done with the renter not paying?
I think if that renter's smart, yeah, you go through the eviction period, or the eviction. Once you have the court order, it's all legal.
Isn't it like 90 days?
I mean,
though?
you can't park a junk car in the front of the driveway.
No.
You can't.
Not under normal circumstances.
He'll just call and get it towed.
You can't.
Well, Mark, why are you saying no? How do you know? How do you know?
Because everything I've been reading says that. You can't lock
Would you
them out.
prefer to have a different attorney referral for someone that you can go into the office for, or do you want to talk to Tom about this?
You can't do any of that shit.
You can't go in at all.
That becomes a self-help eviction, which is illegal in Colorado.
You have to have a court order. Yeah, but so you own the property?
If they sue you, it would be whatever damages.
So you own the property, but it's his domicile.
Got it. Let me give you David Salisbury. He's great.
No, I get that. I get all that.
Come up with a shitload.
Salisbury, Salsbury.
Yeah, but then you got to get damages out of
720
the landlord is at 493 I'm deciding
3911.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. We have a call into our real estate attorney to try to get an answer on this tenant that won't leave. But from what Mark is looking online, what he's saying is you can't do a self-eviction. And part of that would be changing the locks, locking them out, or even cutting off utilities. Doesn't mention that
specifically. It actually says it is illegal in Colorado for a landlord to remove a tenant without a court order. This means that a landlord cannot turn off utilities, lock a tenent out of the apartment or of the house without going through the eviction.
Okay, now, that I know. Okay, now, having said that, well, we knew they couldn't lock him out. Okay, now, I was a little hazy on the utilities, but okay, we know that. My question now is this, though. If
I came back, I'd break down the door because that's still my place. So if you're saying, what are the damages?
No,
the tenant could actually call the cops at that point if he locked them out and say, this is my house, here's my utility bill, here's my lease, this guy just locked me out of my own house.
Now, what I'd like to know, though, is if he didn't lock him out, if he just turned off utilities or made life miserable, Is there a you got to let's look at life
damage?
If it's a civil action, okay, a civil action,
Troubleshooter show.
he's
What is
got
your
to
first name?
find an attorney to sue the landlord for damages.
And I would
Go ahead.
assume there's attorneys out there looking for exactly this.
Now, hold on. I got to ask another question for Jim.
Sure, no problem.
And then I want to ask other people if they've had problems with tenants. But I want to ask Jim another question.
How about we get on our guy that rents out a ton of places?
Yeah, our real estate mogul, right? Don't we have real estate mogul on or whatever they call him? Yeah. Now, Jim, I need to ask you a question here. Are the utilities in his name? Does he pay his own utilities?
Yes.
Okay. So he has utilities. Do you know if he's paying them?
They haven't turned them off.
Okay. And how long total has he been there? For those listening, background here.
A little over 2 years.
Wait. And when did he stop paying?
When the lease was up back in May.
So he hasn't paid for May, June, July, May, June, and July.
Right.
So he's 3 months
Right.
behind.
Yes.
Okay. And the utilities are in his name. Does he say anything to you like, hey, man, I don't have to pay? Or what does he say to you? Do you ever talk to him?
Probably nothing.
He won't answer the door. Every time I've gone over there, I know he's in there, but he won't answer the door.
This breaks it down perfectly, man. You have to go through this in Colorado.
But can he enter the premises?
Well, you can, no, a landlord can enter premises for reasonable, hold on, not out of curiosity. It's got to be for maintenance or emergencies or to inspect the condition, and it can't be overly burdensome. He can't do it every day.
He say, I want to inspect the condition and confirm.
If it's in his
Can't
lease.
kick the door down.
No.
Right. So what does he do?
The guy's not answering the door.
I'm sure Jim, do you have the key to the door?
He can go in. He can go in. Yeah.
Go in.
With reasonable notice, he can go in.
He wants to inspect it.
Right.
And
he better make sure he doesn't get shot. He better make sure he doesn't get shot while we're giving out advice. I mean, seriously. The guy said, I think he was an intruder. And make my day. Now Jim's dead.
What if I just turned off the air conditioning?
We already talked about that. That's the same thing as.
Okay.
And now, if the air conditioner mysteriously broke, or like a rat chewed through the Freon, or and something was that you didn't do, and it doesn't work, and he expects you to fix it, you can go and tell him to pound salt.
Or the doors blew off.
I don't know if the doors would blow off, but
just magically though.
No, but if the air conditioner, what a devious mind. If the air conditioner did not work, seriously, let's say some guy was lurking behind there and tripped over the line and broke it, or some kind of varmint got into it, or it just broke on its own and you didn't do it, you don't have to fix it.
Right.
So I don't know what to tell you.
Liability for evicting a tenant illegally. And remember, this includes changing locks, remove tenants' property.
When you say liability, Mark, do you mean automatic liability? Is there a department of evictions?
It says courts frown on self-help.
Yes, they do, but he has to bring an action.
If property owner illegally evicts a tenant, they can sue the landlord.
Of course they can. We've said that 100 times.
There's a wide variety of things depending on the circumstances. Wrongful eviction, assault, battery, slander, libel, trespassing.
Okay. So.
Sounds pretty damn risky for a few grand.
Well, what do you let him live there forever, Mark? What do you do?
You go through the eviction process like the guy's doing.
How long did they say it would take to evict, Jim?
45.
Can you get someone other than the sheriff? Can you hire a
what is your
company?
first name?
Yes, you can.
Maybe that's your answer.
No, but you still have to go through the court to get the
I get that, but you get all the way to the point where you can call the sheriff. I thought he said the sheriff was saying it would be 45.
It's the court date. Is that what you're saying? The court date?
Yes.
The court date itself is backed up.
Okay, I will. You want to come on and suggest that, or do you want me
Zoom hearings for that to help people out, and start calling in volunteer judge magistrates to help people out. I don't know. This is getting.
What's your first name?
The system's out of control. I mean, again.
Hang on a minute.
there's no responsibility. There isn't. You know, this landlord simply wants to be paid for rent. I mean, he's
oh my
not.
God, we had these calls every day in 2021. My own neighbor didn't get paid for, what, a year and a half, man. They lived in his house. Couldn't evict him.
That's crazy.
Eva, what's your comment, Eva?
Yeah, hi.
What's your comment?
My comment is this.
Troubleshooter Show, what is your first name?
That there's no answer to the
hey,
door.
Steve, you got a comment on this?
Police and say, I'm afraid the guy OD'd or is dead.
No,
I can't get
no, they can do a welfare check.
Hang on
They
a
can do
minute.
a welfare check, but I don't know what good it'll do. It's not going to get them paid. More coming up.
Nor is it going to get him evicted.
That's a good point, though. Maybe she can get in the building.
I don't even know why he wants to get in there, though. Why does he even care?
Yeah, he just goes.
He wants the guy out.
Just to talk to the guy, that's all.
I want to keep all these calls with him, with the landlord, and any comments.
We need that mogul guy on. If I was what's-his-face, I wouldn't come on about this. Worst thing you can do as an attorney is come on with the tenant issue. Next thing you know, you get 50 fucking calls from people that have zero money, getting evicted, and there's not a damn thing you can or will do about it. It is nothing but a pain in the ass. There's no reason to ever have a tenant landlord attorney on for the tenant. Ever.
You know, I agree with you with that whole last set. I would just call the freaking court system or a private whatever company and just take care of it.
Just go hire an attorney, go through it as fast as you can.
I mean, this guy's obviously got to be retired. He's got time on his hands. Go knock on the door and wait there. He's obviously got nothing else to do. It's like 1 or 2 rentals this guy has.
Troubleshooter Show, what is your first name?
You know, it's probably his old house. He bought a new one.
Diane, hi, in a sentence or less. What would you like to talk to Tom about on the show today?
It just seems like there's something you could do to make life miserable.
A moving incident. Okay, who is the mover?
You're screwed. Well, like Mark's saying, then the guy has to sue you. It's not like you're going to get arrested.
It could be damages. You could lose property.
You have to prove damages. Right, Mark? You have to prove damages?
You would have to prove what the damages are unless, that's why I want the moguls on. I'm pretty sure at one point there's some fines and stuff that the landlord won't get, but it might have just been the city of Denver. They can really fuck with your life when it comes to renting in the future. So, I mean, you just got to check at what it is. The landlord, he would get sued for damages.
Yeah.
But if you think of the damages you could come up with.
You, because you're smart, I mean,
there's a new law.
No, but this guy calls up an attorney that thrives on that shit. If you can convince an attorney,
the attorney won't take it on contingency.
No.
If you deadbeat renters doesn't have the money to pay the attorney.
Listen. If you can prove to some attorneys that you were illegally forced out, I mean, if you can prove that right up front, they probably will take it on contingency because they know the money's there at the end because they're going after the house. They'll end up winning the house.
Can they get triple damages?
That's why I want the moguls on. I swear there was something. I knew the electricity and stuff.
Right.
Because I was Tom 2 years ago saying exactly that on air. I said, go over and turn the fire.
I never told him to do that. He asked the question.
Well,
I didn't say to do
while
it.
you were gone, he did it, and the cops are there.
Well, so he asked the question, and I said, I don't know. That's what I said. I don't know.
Three words you'll never hear long say.
Well, because he's Professor Google. 99%.
I have gotten 4 of these entry for gas things. You guys got to get an easy website where they can just go.
Yeah, but that defeats our purpose.
It's the purpose of traffic.
Well, then you shouldn't be announcing it the day of because everybody's asking, where do I get in?
Then they're going to look for money mail. And they're going to look
in the future. You're right.
Now, there's something we can do. There's something we can do. There's something we can do. On my website where I have 03consumer.com where I have, we're now doing money mail and all that. On the day or when your coupon comes out, I can put the coupon right on there.
Then they just scan it.
Yeah. And they just go to 3.
And maybe what you put on there, it's only good for the next one.
That's not what it is, except this time I'm going to keep it.
How many entries did you get? Just curious.
1900.
Wow.
Hopefully we get mobile.
They're on. Oh no. Brian's on.
I don't think he likes talking to tenant landlord. That's fucking amazing.
Now, in this case, because we have the landlord on, it might turn out because he might get hired. But I'll tell you this, when we have the tenant on, forget about it. Remember Brandon Sigley?
That's what I'm trying to get at, Mark. No one wants new tenants. That's why the guy.
Only, but this is what the moguls told us. Only if the tenant can prove you forcibly removed them, then the lawyers will take it on.
Do you think they'll take it on contingency?
Yes, and I'll tell you, he said why. Because they have the fucking asset of the house or the apartment.
If they get a judgment.
Not only that, I'm pretty sure they got to pay attorney's fees.
Some of the constraints is ruthless.
Fuck, the worst are the ones who go out and they go, hey, you downloaded a movie, or hey, you used
so this guy
picture on your website.
Hey, this guy confessed to the shooting.
Seriously, what? Oh, contemplated another shooting.
You know what? Biden hardly moves. You ever see him?
He's an old, dementia-inflicted man.
There's an episode of King of Queens where
he tried to bribe
he's talking about his father-in-law and calls him an old demented monkey.
You remember when he was trying to ride a bicycle to show how fit he is?
Yeah, I don't follow any. First thing I thought was put him on a crotch rocket.
That's brutal.
Brutal. Oh, that's all right.
It almost looked like he was clipped in when he crashed on the bike. I don't think he was.
You know, they're quoting that woman as if it was fact on the Today Show about how Trump, in light of Trump grabbing the wheel, blah, blah, blah. But they never, first of all, I thought she witnessed it. She didn't. Then I thought she heard it from someone who was there. No, she heard it from someone who heard it from someone.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then the agent.
How do you testify that you heard it from someone who heard it from
Because
someone?
it's not a court of law. You can use hearsay.
But then they quote her like it's a fact.
Right, because so is anti-Trump. It's hearsay. I mean, this is third person removed.
It's hearsay.
Yeah.
In as little as 10 days. Call 303-695-7000. 303-695-7000.
Yeah, you shot before.
AmericanFinancing.net. MLS 12334, regulated by the
So, and you know, you can't get it for perjury because she heard it from someone who heard it. So, I mean, the point is she's not lying.
Right,
it's just totally.
That's right.
It's totally unsubstantiated. So they were supposed to get the Secret Service agents to testify under oath.
They won't. Why won't they call him in?
They're going to.
Did she even say who she heard?
Yeah, she did. I don't forget.
Who she heard it from?
Are they going to call him in? Because that will show
they're
they're unbiased.
Of course they're going to.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere this hour, brought to you by RealCBDThatWorks.com for pain, inflammation, for anxiety. It's really great what it does for anxiety. People use it for travel. They also have an inflammation formula for cosmetics. And you get now, I just want to remind you, it's for this month, or not for this month, until the 8th, I believe, there's 40% off if you put in summer, the promo code, okay? And the promo code, let me just give that to you. To get 40% off CBD is summer, all caps, 22, summer 22. And you get 40% off, and that's till the 8th. All right, Jay Brett's our guest today from Excel Roofing. We also have 888 Heating In, who just gave away $500 in gasoline. We appreciate that. And
we're going to talk to Brad O'Brien from olslaw.com, O'Brien Legal Services. Brad, I know that tenant landlord's a mess. I don't even know if you enjoy taking these cases. Certainly, this landlord is being taken advantage of. The guy's been there 2 years, but he stopped paying 3 months ago. And he wants to know, what can I do? And then he's going through the eviction process. Obviously, he's doing that right now. And that's, he had questions. What if I turn off the air, or what if I turn off, the, gas or whatever? Is this Steve? Is Steve
The caller hung up, Tom.
The caller hung up, but he's listening, Brad. So what would you do, Brad?
Well, that kind of conduct by a landlord is called self-help, and that's illegal, and that'll get a landlord in trouble legally. And also, less than a year ago, the law changed to add more penalties for a landlord doing those kind of things, which is a penalty of up to 3 times rent or $5,000, whichever is greater, plus attorney fees and costs.
Okay, so an attorney would take this on contingency easily then, wouldn't he?
Some might, yeah.
I mean, so if you're locked out, even if you haven't been paying, if you haven't been paying for 3 months, 6 months, and they walk into your office, they say, Brad, this guy just locked me out. I didn't pay for 6 months. You could take that case with an almost guaranteed win.
I think so, yeah. The lockout statute is really different from the rent payment statute. It stands on its own. A landlord just cannot lock out somebody. You have to go through the court, get a court order for the sheriff to get out there and do the eviction the right way.
And the same thing with shutting off utilities.
That's correct. Any form of lockout. Locking the doors, turning utilities off, just anything along those lines.
You better tell that guy to put down the bolt cut.
But then again, the bottom line here, Brad, I want to make this clear. For that to happen, though, the tenant, it's not an automatic, it's not an agency that's going to come after them and find them. For that to happen, the tenant would have to have the wherewithal to do a civil case.
That's right.
All right. Well, thank you. Brad O'Brien, olslaw.com. Steve's got a comment on it. Go ahead, Steve. Hold on one sec. Go ahead, Steve. What's going on?
Oh, I was just wondering if that fella said how much that renter was paying rent.
You mean when he was paying? No, he didn't say how much. Why? What difference would that make?
Oh, I don't know. The way I was listening to it, it's almost take your lickings and just get the guy the heck out of there.
Well, that's what he's doing. Oh, that's what he's going to do with the eviction, you mean?
Oh yeah, and then sue him once he gets moved out. Then take him to court to sue him for what he's lost.
Well, you can do that.
How do you know the unit ain't trashed?
That's true too. He can't get in there. But it's a terrible situation. It's a terrible situation, Steve. Really. And we have this happening every day. I mean, look.
The worst was through COVID, man. It was crazy. There was no eviction process.
Right. And then some of the landlords got paid by federal funds.
How do unelected officials come in and say, hey, as a landlord, even though we have nothing to do with this agreement between you and Joe Blow, you can't do anything.
Wait a minute. Well, I thought it was an elected official. I thought the governor did that. Or was it truly done, or did the president? Was it an executive order?
I thought it was the CDC.
Oh, wait a minute. It could have been. It could have been. You know what? That's all in my rearview mirror right now. But
hopefully the EPA the court ruling on the EPA will cut back on these unelected officials making decisions like that. I think that's going to be a substantial change to these ABC agencies that now are not going to be able to make.
Yeah, the CDC stepped in and issued an order temporarily halting residential evictions.
Yeah, because they were calling it a health threat.
Right, but hopefully.
And then the Supreme Court came around, of course, well after, and struck it down, saying they didn't have the power. But what did it matter? This was 18 months later.
Well, too many bureaucrats that are unelected make all kinds of laws and regulations. I mean, it's amazing to me.
Tom, that's why the CPA decision made
sense. I know.
Hopefully.
And what people have made it out to be is a global warming issue, and it's not. It's an issue on whether unelected officials can go beyond legislation. Can they go beyond what is law and make policy, without having the power directly from Congress?
And that caller we had that started all this, man, he should honestly call Bradley O'Brien. He needs to call someone to make sure he gets it done and gets it done right.
Right. That's right. Now, Diane, I shudder when I take calls like this, okay, I literally shudder because you're calling about a moving issue, a moving broker, and I'm just praying it's not the scam we've heard 65 times in the last few months.
I'm betting on Florida.
Was this a Florida moving broker?
It was, yes.
Oh, my God. How many times is this going to happen? And they took money up front.
Yeah, so we signed a contract, of course, that indicated to us that I've done a move for my daughter 4 times, and I usually rent a truck. This time we had a moving allowance with the gas prices. I thought I don't want to drive 2 vehicles to her location. She's a veterinarian. She was moving out of vet med school into a location. We, instead of driving 3 states with a horse and so on in tow, we decided not to let a moving company do this for us. There are no national moving companies available in the year 2022. So we hired a broker.
Wait a minute, you're wrong. What do you mean there are no moving companies available? What do you mean?
I called 4 moving companies and they said there's no availability until
Troubleshooter Show. What is your
January
first name?
No availability. So you found this broker out of Florida who took money up front. Here's what I need to know: how far the scam went, though, because here's what usually happens. Tell me what stage you're in. They take money up front. The money you pay up front goes toward nothing. It simply lines the pocket of the broker. Now the broker puts that lead out on the internet to his scumbag friends. Now a trucker will pick up that somebody who may or may not have a truck, or a guy who lives in his mom's attic, somebody is going to find that and say, okay, I'll take that contract. And then they promise the broker a kickback on that. Then that person with the truck shows up, the actual mover, and they tell you often, oh no, or they don't show up, or they show up late, or whatever. And then they tell you, oh, we can't possibly do it for that price. It's going to be a few grand more. Then they pick up the stuff, and then the next guy gets it. And that next guy says, oh, we can't possibly deliver it. It's going to be a few grand more. So what stage are you in? Diane? She didn't like what she heard. No, she didn't like it. I mean, what can I say? Diane, are you there?
You scared her off, Tom.
No, I did. I of course, because I want to know what stage it's in. All right, she's gone. She's gone. Diane, I'm sorry, but you got ripped off. You got ripped off. And as soon as she heard that, she probably figured, oh, God, what am I going to do? But I would like to know what stage it's in, because there are sometimes some things we can do to intercept. Or if it's a moving broker we've heard from before, some of them actually we've gotten to give in a little. Julie, it's your turn. I'm Tom Martino. What's going on, Julie?
I was involved in a hit and run Saturday evening. I just want to know.
Troubleshooter Show, is this Diane by chance?
Okay, what kind of hit and run are we talking about?
We couldn't hear you at all. Let me tell you about it.
Obviously you didn't. Obviously you didn't. You wouldn't be calling. Okay, but I mean the circumstances. Were you parked? Were you driving? How did it happen?
I was at a red light, and they just came and hit me from behind.
And then took off.
Yes, I got out of the car and was walking to the back, and he just took off. I did get the plate number, but when the police ran it, he said it went to a trailer.
All right, hold on, because I got some important information I need to know. Diane, I'm sorry. What part did you get disconnected on?
Is this referred to Diane, you mean? Or?
Yeah, Diane, the moving issue. I told you the stages of the scam and asked what stage you're in. Yeah. What stage?
Yeah, and I tried to answer, and nobody was answering.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. What stage?
So ours isn't quite what you've indicated. I did do the reviews. We're in the stage where we haven't been charged extra money. We went with a quote-unquote #1 moving company out of Florida. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We have got our goods that are secured in a warehouse in the same state my daughter originated from, and she's in another state waiting for her goods to arrive. Supposedly, we have 21 business days they have to deliver it, and we're in about day number 15.
Okay, Diane, you said no extra cash was asked. Did you pay the broker up front?
I paid for a portion of the total move up front.
How much?
I paid $1,700.
And how much is due? How much is due if they deliver it?
Same amount.
Okay. If you get that delivered for $1,700, I'm going to give you an extra $100 just because I was wrong. And I'm happy for you. That's what I'm going to do. Because what's going to happen now is this is where the blackmail comes in. Usually it comes in at 3 stages. The first guy takes the money. That $1,700, by the way, didn't go toward your move. The second guy that picked up your stuff, they never said anything about being more money. That's great. They just picked it up. Now they said, however, were they supposed to move it right away, or did your daughter know they were going to hold it for a while?
They were supposed to move it right away, of course.
Okay, but they put it in a warehouse. Okay, now this is where the squeeze is going to come in for you to get the stuff. Hold on, though, and let's see if we can do anything about it coming up.
Oh, the squeeze is coming.
I've heard this story on your show for years.
65.
All the time.
The millions of you who settled for unsatisfied.
We knew it was going to be Florida, right, Tom?
Oh, it's a God Almighty! What is it about Florida?
Everything crazy.
They're just really laxed or something.
I think I heard somewhere that that like reporters and stuff like all the crazy stories like from Florida, it's like legally like.
Hold on, guys. I got this. All right, ready? Colorado Pain Care, Sport and Spine. I want you to go to the website and look up their location of clinics, and then look up their hours are 7 to 7, so you call for appointments, even same-day appointments if you're in excruciating pain. 303 got pain. This is a clinic that gets right to work, whether it's a trigger point injection to get you over the hump temporarily, or maybe an epidural, or some deeper seated treatments. They can also do physical therapy straight up that gets you out of pain and keeps you out of pain. They can recommend surgery. They can walk you through the entire process. Yeah, they help me temporarily. They help me moderately. They help me then permanently. They got me to where I needed to be with a neurosurgeon. Now, listen, that's very few times do you have to go right through that surgery, but I just want you to know they're there for you. ColoradoPainCare.com, 303-GOT-PAIN. All right, let's talk about Sheridan Auto Tech, a place that I highly endorse for auto repair and for auto repairs and maintenance and electrical issues, because they have everything you want in an auto repair facility. I call him Uncle Kevin, the owner, because he treats his people like family, his employees and his customers. They have longevity, more than 20 years in business. Then they have honesty, experience, knowledge, convenience, and value. What else can you ask for? Now, I love it that he does electrical issues as well. That's right, SheridanAutotech.com, 303-455-7242, 455-7242. You know, we were talking about air conditioning today. I have 888 heating in the studio, and I want to say something. You can make your air conditioner work less with a whole house fan. QCcolorado.com, one of my sponsors, they put in the quiet, cool whole house fan, put it in a couple hours. They have no wall switches that you have to worry about. You have a remote control, no digging in, wiring. It's done in just a couple hours. It's put in your attic, and it takes all the cool air from the bottom of your house and circulates it through your house. It destratifies the air and then expels all that heat out through the attic. So it's really a good thing, and I can tell you from personal experience, it absolutely positively reduces your use of air conditioning. QCcolorado.com. That's QCcolorado.com. 303-800-3419.
Is your concrete sinking? Interior floor?
Yes, he's available. He helps people on his show. Do you have time to hold and come on and talk to him on the telephone? On the radio show?
Tell me what's wrong. Tell me what's wrong.
What's that, Mark? Do I have to?
Can I see it? Yeah. Tell me what's wrong.
Okay.
Just with the picture?
With the picture. There's something.
Are you still having a problem with them?
This just happened.
Okay, what is your first name? I'm sorry, you're hard to hear. Your first name again?
Is it obvious? It is obvious, but
Monica. Okay, you said Ivy Crossing.
I know because I read the headline.
Okay, you got a couple calls ahead of you, so just hang tight if you don't get on, and I'll line you up for tomorrow. Hang on.
Oh. I was looking to see.
Look, it's literally. Here's the funny part, though. It's literally the top story.
Oh. I was looking to see if there's something wrong with the comma. No, the spelling.
It's not her fault. No, but both of them are sitting there, and none of them noticed it. It's a little strange.
Well, how would we know that they noticed it?
Maybe they're
Wouldn't you know if would you mention it if Colorado was spelled
Yeah,
wrong?
well,
Would you
would you
come up and be like,
during the
I'm not
event?
going on stage with that. Yeah.
Would you say that?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not going to look that stupid.
If you're the,
I would come out and say,
You're the vice
if I
president.
noticed it, I'd come out and say, oh,
she's
no.
wishing she said something. That's what you're okay. It's a metaphor for the entire administration. Yeah, it is. It's a, what do you call it? Culture. New Orleans. I'll be out there in a few weeks.
Look at Tennessee.
And it's happening in New Orleans. That's what's really fucked up.
God, look at that. Look at that laugh.
These entries just keep coming in. Holy shit. See, this is flooding my inbox. Because I have that entry form marked from my website, goes directly, you know, that form goes directly to me. I should.
It goes to your email?
Well, they don't know my email. See, what it does is it goes to my 303consumer.com website. It's a hidden page. They fill it out. When they hit submit, it goes onto that website. I have storage there. But it notifies me with a duplicate. So now I got hundreds and hundreds.
Have you seen your print ads take a hit this year?
We have another one?
No.
You print ads, right?
We're not going to have two
your
in a day,
magazines and all that?
You might have a 60 and a 2 minute.
Huge hit this year. I dumped almost all of it. They had like maybe 2 or 3 left. Golly. I'm out of Dave Logan print. I'm out of 303. Like, it's just went to hell.
Hey, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Plenty of time to go if you have a problem, question, complaint. Let's get to the phones. Okay, so Diane is back, and Diane, let's see if we can help you out. So it's been in a warehouse at where did they pick it up? What state?
They picked it up in Kansas.
And it's in a warehouse in Kansas right now, right?
That's correct, yeah.
Now, what does the mover, the number one mover in Florida, tell you when you call them?
They have told us as of today that they're waiting for a truck to be full before they transmit those goods from Kansas up to her home in Idaho.
Not a terrible explanation. What is the name of this mover?
The mover that we went to, Tacoma Movers, is the one that's actually going to physically transport the goods. USA Movers, located out of Florida, is the broker that I hired.
Okay. So, Tacoma, did you look them up?
I have. There's not a whole lot about them on the internet, of course.
It's a man in a truck,
I have
probably.
I have other resources not available to your typical consumer because I work in anti-fraud and identity, the anti-fraud and identity space, and I'm cleared, so I have resources.
Oh, cool. Can you work for us, too? Help us out. Yeah. But listen, Diane,
I'm not beyond using those resources, by the way, to get these guys.
Okay.
I mean, literally hunt them down. And
what did you find out about them?
Well, I haven't found out a whole lot yet because I want to play those chips very carefully.
Okay.
You can understand.
So when did they say you could expect it to be picked up and delivered?
So we were hastened along to have pickup on the 16th of June, because our first date of availability to receive those goods was going to be the 22nd, 5 days beyond. That's, of course, when they start the quote-unquote process.
But when do they say they will deliver it now? What's your latest updated date?
Latest updated date would be the 22nd of July.
Really, at this point, what do you have to lose other that you probably haven't already lost? I mean, if you're going to lose, you're going to lose. At this point, between now and the 22nd, what were you hoping, and I mean this sincerely, that we would tell you that could change things? You want us to get on their backs? I think if they say the 22nd, are you thinking they're just stringing you along?
Well, I'm thinking that they've been telling us that do they ever have a case where it goes 21 business days? Generally, you're expecting delivery between 7 and 14. That was quoted us. Yeah. We're not getting any more reports from Tacoma. When they're calling them, Tacoma's not answering. Now, I have a daughter that's a doctor trying to perform operations and she doesn't have any household goods. She doesn't have any clothing. I had to go out and buy her.
Where is she practicing now? She's a veterinarian?
She's a veterinarian practicing in Kuna, Idaho, and living in Meridian.
Is she a large animal? Is she a large animal or both?
She has 8 species she's licensed to practice on, and she's got, she's operating 4 or 5 hours every day.
Right now. My goodness, great! I didn't know there was such a demand.
Oh, a huge demand there because, as you can tell, it's a very fast-growing city, that whole area outside of Boise, and everybody owns a dog. The median age is 31 years of age, and they all have dogs, and they're all dogs.
I never knew you got checked out on certain.
I never heard that either.
Animals.
No, Doc, I didn't know that either. That they have to be certified for species.
So they know more than Doc.
Well, no, I'm talking about specific species. Like you mean like you're talking like dog, cat, horse, all of that, right?
A good vet can work on a cat, a pig.
Well, tell me,
Doc can only work
what
on
does
a
she
human.
what does she do?
I worked on 57 different genders.
Yeah, but Diane, what kind of animals? I'm just curious. What kind of species?
So she's done complete hip replacements on dogs. She's done horses have twisted stomachs oftentimes when their owners change up their diet because they have to eat all day, and the protozoa that starts in stomach 1 ends and becomes their food in stomach 4. So she's done a complete gastroectomy to remove the unprocessed protozoa. She's done knee replacements called FPLOs. She's doing a complete denucleate today, which is a removal of 2 eyes from a cat.
Does she do, but did you say she does cattle?
She does work on cattle, but not often because, to be honest, they get injured too easily.
And horses and dogs and cats?
Horses, dogs, cats. She's done she's done a necropsy on a flamingo.
Oh, my
that
goodness.
was brought to her university because it was owned by a famous zoo in Florida, and they wanted to know what's wrong with that one individual flamingo because they didn't want a whole race to go down at the zoo and things of that nature.
I wonder how much a hip replacement on a dog cost. How much is that?
$65.50 generally.
Yikes.
Man, you know a lot about it. Were you ever a doctor?
I wasn't, but I put a girl through medical school in all 14 years.
Oh, my goodness.
Investment. And you also helped me pay for her Ford truck motor not too long ago. Or no, not the Ford truck, but it was being repaired in a nefarious dealership here in Littleton, Colorado. You helped me.
Well, I'm glad I helped. If I helped anyway. So listen, here's what I recommend at this point. You're afraid the date's going to come and go and nothing will happen?
You got it. Yeah, that we're never going to get the goods. And that's when I would call in the artillery, to be honest. I'm not going to put up with it.
Do you work for the government? Do you work for the government or a private contractor?
I don't. No, I work for a company, but I have association with a lot of our military and our government.
Oh, boy, this sounds like fun. But I'll tell you what we can try to do, really, is we can try Well, not try.
I know the next call is going to be the squeeze. It's going to come up around 20 days. They're going to call and say, okay, well, we can go ahead and get it out there. We don't have the truck filled up, but it's going to be an additional $2,000.
Or they don't tell you that. They just show up and say, this was way more than we thought. You're going to have to pay more. Is this stuff valuable stuff?
Well, it's got her whole life in her truck and all of her accomplishments, all of her awards. It's got, $10,000 worth of stethoscopes that she put in the truck.
Oh, my God.
As well, that we bought.
My God.
And the challenge is, if I have a 6'5" man show up with my daughter that is a farm and rancher but now turned engineer, I don't think they're going to be quite as precarious, if you will, with her as they were when they picked it up. They were, speaking only Russian and blah, blah, blah. It really worried me that she was by herself. I'm not going to let that happen again. And if I have to get the spooks on the ground to meet the truck, I will, frankly. So I'm not going to let them take advantage of her. And I'm not paying a dime more. I'm literally not.
Well, what are you going to do, though? Because this is interesting, and we do want to help you. But what are you going to do if they demand more money or you don't get your stuff?
I may pull a gun on them.
Oh, my God. Don't say that.
Well, why not?
Oh, jeez. God.
Seriously, Tom. Honestly, if they've taken your money, they have your goods, we have a contract that says they can't do that. Why would I not pull a Kimber 91011 and say,
my goodness,
unload that truck, period?
God.
Right, your word is everything. So honestly,
yeah, but you're going to change. You're going to change a civil action into a criminal action, and you don't want to do that, Diane.
Well, they've already turned it into a criminal action, haven't they, Doc?
No. This is a civil case. First of all, you should wait until the 22nd.
That's what we should do.
And then call.
And then listen, we will be happy. We would be happy to for some reason when we get on the case and they know it and the media is involved, they sometimes will behave better. Maybe we give it to Smarty Pants. He's handled a lot of moving company problems. We have a deputy we call Smarty Pants, and he might be able to just put him on alert. Hey, we're looking at this. She's very concerned. Are you sure you're going to have somebody there? And then do that. Let's just do that, Suze. Let's give this right now to our deputy and just at least what we call light a fire. Okay, and we'll call it moving caution at this point. And Deputy, is he listening today? Is he on? Or
I don't think so.
Okay, we'll hand it to him?
Yeah.
All right. Diane, thanks for the call. Hold on. Suze is going to get information from you, okay? Let's go to Julie with the hit and run. I didn't forget about you, Julie, so let's I want to talk to you, and I'll tell you about this, okay? You asked, what does uninsured motorists do? Let me explain this to you. Is your car older?
Yes.
So you didn't have collision coverage, is that right?
Right.
Okay. As a result of not having collision, you're looking for some way to get your car fixed, right?
Yes.
Okay. There is normal coverages on a car include liability, that's when you do damage to others, collision, when you're in a collision and the other person doesn't have enough insurance or you don't want to mess with them. The other one is medical payments. That means if you're in an accident, it covers medical payments for you and your passengers. And the other one is called uninsured motorist and underinsured motorist. But what that covers usually in all, unless you get a special coverage, what normal
Troubleshooter Show, what is your first name?
UI cover, uninsured
Rob,
motorists
you
or
said
uninsured,
B as in boy at the end of that?
underinsured. What it covers
Hi, Rob, in a
is
sentence or less, what did you want to talk to
pain
Tom
and
about on the show
suffering
today?
and extraordinary damages. It does not cover medical bills, and it does not cover property damage. It's a very weird coverage. For example, if you were going to sue for an injury, the other party for an injury.
No problem. Hey, Rob, I do the billing, and Mark does all the cancellation stuff. So what is your company name?
Okay? In order to do that, they would have to have insurance.
Okay, Rob,
if they don't have insurance and they don't have money, you wouldn't bother going after them, and you would use your underinsured motorist coverage as if it's
Hang on
the
just a
other
second. I'm going to
party,
email you and Mark. Hang on just a second.
settlement for your pain and suffering
Can I get an email
against your
from
own
you?
insurance company. However, there is another coverage that you may or may not have called uninsured motorist property damage. Let me tell you what that is.
Myers@hotmail.com.
Uninsured motorist property damage
I
is
will
for
send this
people
over
with
to Mark
older
and he'll be in
cars.
touch, okay?
They don't see
All right,
the
Rob.
sense of
Thank
having
you. You're
collision
welcome.
coverage.
Bye-bye.
But because it's too expensive, but they want to be covered in the event someone hits them without insurance. Because they figure if someone hits them with insurance, that other party will cover it. But if someone hits them without insurance or runs away, they want to be covered. Okay? So that's what I'd like to know. Do you have uninsured motorist coverage?
Yes.
Then you're going to be fine. Hold on a second, all right? Just hold on.
Depends, doesn't it?
What do you mean?
On how much uninsured she has?
Well, of course.
Because 10,000 is the minimum, isn't it?
I don't know. On uninsured property damage? Can you bring Compass up again? I hate to say this, but I need Compass again.
See if I can get him.
I'm told that's the one that you should bump up.
Why? Most people have, if it's over 10, you have collision coverage on your car. I mean, if you have a good collision coverage.
The collision would kick in.
Yeah, absolutely. Collision would kick in on a hit and run for sure. The only reason people have uninsured motorists is for lower price cars because it's not worth carrying a full collision policy.
And you're saying that doesn't, will that cover pain and suffering then?
No, just property damage. Uninsured motorist does cover pain and suffering, but uninsured motorist property damage is separate. know, I have good news for you if you're looking for extra cash from your old jewelry. Now, there's two ways to sell jewelry to davidellisjewelry.com at 3rd and Clayton. Here's the first way. If you have tangled messes, mismatched earrings, incomplete coin collections, old broken watches, they weigh it and pay it. You sell it for the metal, okay? The jewelry's gone. You're selling it for the metal. So you collect everything you got, bring it down, and again, he'd be happy to weigh it and pay it on the spot. It's somebody who's been in town 40 years that you can trust. 2640 East 3rd Avenue. Now, here's the other thing. If you want to sell estate jewelry and precious stones, he'll buy that
What's
too.
your phone number,
That's
by the
a
way?
little different and a little higher than weighing and paying.
200.
So David Ellis Jewelry, your connection for buying what you have, 303-322-8779, 3rd and Clayton.
Okay, please. Okay, great. I will get this to him. Sure.
I appreciate you. I've got exciting news. Tenant Smith, all-time rushing leader and Hall of Fame. Now you can get relief from pain without harmful medications and surgery. All my guys at QC Kinetic. QC Kinetic specializes in biologic therapies that can repair and restore damaged tissue. I'm talking about natural pain treatments now available, not just for pro athletes. I believe that. At QC Kinetic, we're seeing patients every day who suffer from chronic joint pain but who desperately wanted to avoid surgery. We're treating joint pain with biologic therapies.
What's that?
Regenerative solutions with long-lasting results.
Government worker is going to pull it down.
No, she's an independent contractor.
Yeah.
QC Kinetic.
She didn't say for a
about started treatments that can get you back in the game. Call QC Kinetic 303 900 8986.
Not a good idea.
900 8986. 303 900.
Liz just came in here, so I CC'd you both in an email so you two can get talking and I stay out of. So she really wants to sit down with you.
So the internet is down. I got a guest is down.
Needs a big night on Newsmax with Rob Schmidt talking about Biden's economic train wreck. Exposing the woke agenda.
The wokes.
Million Americans watch Newsmax. Millions are making a switch to Newsmax. It's on all major cable and streaming platforms. If your cable system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them. If they won't carry it, switch to a system that does.
Oh, good. Fauci's quitting.
If they won't carry it, fuck them.
Yeah.
Well, let's see who they put in his place before you say good.
We might have lost video.
No offense, but
considering a pension buyout, a severance package.
Oh man, do we lose everything?
No, I just
It's
lost
coming to an end. He didn't say when.
You just connect iHeart now.
I do, because if I need to remote into my PCs, I can't if I'm on the TSN Wi-Fi. I have to be on the iHeart.
Tell Talib to light up. God, tell him to light up the bot. Sure.
He plans to teach and write the story.
I have one guy just walk in and get a job. The easiest thing I've ever had. It starts tomorrow, or today, actually.
And so, because he was somebody that didn't work with one of those.
Yeah, so he got him in. I got the third coworker in. So $1 grand. Another employee totally work with, especially if one's already better. Yeah, exactly. All we gotta do is train them.
I don't think I heard. Oh, shoot. 815. Shoot. Hey, Jeremy, it's Suze. How you doing? Good. I don't know what the question is, but I do know it's regarding a hit and run. Great. Keeps you guessing. Wait. Hang on a minute.
I got a text from
Automatic.
Yeah, we use pneumatics. So instead of having electronics, we use pneumatics. I'll just make an air pressure one. And they have a life of 20
basement, your main floor, your master bedroom, all that stuff on different zones. So you keep different temperatures everywhere. If the camping is noisy, go out all the time. Take away from it. So you just get some more air through and take away from it. So you don't ever definitely want to direct it, but we do. It's all pneumatic, automatic wireless controls, CPU downstairs that lets everything do. It controls your whole system. That's
God, all I'm doing now is getting rid of, not getting rid of.
You just have a one system now.
Protecting in our schools, churches, parades, and beyond. How do you in this world, and what role are illegal drugs playing in fueling these mass
You just got a one system house or two or three.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Okay, we have Jeremy with Compass Insurance Group for our question, and we do have Julie. Julie had her car hit and run from behind, Jeremy. She has uninsured motorist property damage, she says. If she does, is that going to kick in for this?
No, that's only for help.
You know, I've seen companies handle this both ways. Most of our companies tend to pay uninsured motorists, and I think it should be paid because you can't identify that they have coverage, right?
Right.
I have heard cases where companies have came back and said, well, we can't prove they didn't have insurance, so therefore it's not uninsured motorist, which obviously I don't agree with, but I have heard of companies coming back and denying a hit and run based on it not being able to prove that the motorist was under or uninsured.
Is Julie, who's your carrier?
Compass.
Oh, you use Compass Insurance?
Genesis Solar.
Yes. Good. And who's
Marcus,
the insurance
Genesis
company?
Solar,
do you know?
They have a system that works with charging an electric car? Do you have any idea of that question?
I just call them. I don't know.
They're good. They're
Alrighty.
good
Do you want to
people,
ask
Jeremy.
Tom that question? We can try to get you on the air before the end of the show, or I can give you Genesis Solar's phone number for you to call them and ask them. Because I don't know the answer to that.
In a case like that, I would file it as an uninsured motorist claim.
Sure.
If you have uninsured motorist property damage, that's what you're getting it for. Absolutely.
You know, you can call Compass, Julie. Do you know they help their people with claims?
Yes.
So now, what other advice do you need? Because that insurance will most likely cover your car.
Okay.
That was about it because I wasn't real sure about how it worked, but you explained it well.
Yeah, and again, there's uninsured motorists and then uninsured motorists property damage. Jeremy, thank you. Yeah, give Compass a call, 303-996-9000. They can assist you on filing that claim or how to do it.
Okay,
303-996-9000. Thank you. Suze, who's next? Monica? Yeah, Monica. Welcome, Monica. What's going on? Hi, Monica. Monica?
Yes.
Okay, can you hold on, dear? I'll take you, I promise, right after this break, okay? Hold on.
Yes.
It's recorded, sponsored by Indeed.com. Couple of things getting in your way right now. Westbound I-76.
Mark.
Sure. Stop and go from Federal to about 5 minutes off your drive. There's also an accident westbound around just east of
No, it's right. I'm going to do two.
already busy intersection. And road work being done on southbound Parker between Long Avenue and Condo Roadside. You can expect delays there. That'll go until about 3 o'clock today. Your Fox 31 pinpoint weather. Good chance of rain on and off and 87 for the high today. Rain possible and 61 tonight. Chance of thunderstorms tomorrow, mid to upper 80s. Friday, a slight chance of rain and 92 right down to 81. With your impact traffic and weather, Vicky Mitchell, 6:30 right now. For business is feeling a summer highway.
Lead, kill the bots.
All right. All right, guys.
And get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
You know, really, reverse loans are very highly specialized loans, and they're for seniors 62 or older with equity. Some people use them to have assisted living and keeping their home. They live off the equity, or they do a line of credit for emergencies, or they might do a lump sum to fix up their house. Whatever it is, some people save their house from foreclosure, and Power Reverse wants to help you. Mark Massey and his team are there to help you. In fact, they have a helpline where you can ask any question you want, no pressure, empowerreverse.com. 720-500-7719. So let's talk about Colorado Pain Care. I urge you to call them. Tell them Tom told you to call them. They have all kinds of therapies for all kinds of pain, and all I can say is they changed my life. They can change yours. It's true. They have clinical hours from 7 to 7. That means you can get in conveniently. They have many locations, even same-day appointments. 303-GOT-PAIN. That's 303-GOT-PAIN.
Siding, windows, gutters, painting, fences, decks. Why am I talking about all these exterior needs that you might need on your house? Because I love Genesis Total Exteriors. Mark Szymanski is the owner. He has done plenty of work at our house out in Franktown. We love everything he does. In fact, I really love his painter. They did the exterior part of our house, the entire house, our barn, our other garage. They did everything, and it is unbelievable. It all looks brand new. But if you need siding, windows, gutters, painting, fences, decks, call up Mark. Call up the guys at Genesis Total Exteriors, 303-679-8509. Write it down, 303-679-8509.
Are you or someone you love struggling with addiction?
Where you at out there? Boy, is it growing. Boy. Holy shit, where that McDonald's is popping, that looks like that neighborhood's going to be Highlands Ranch. Oh, across from Wilding World? Walmart?
Yeah, it's a private school over there.
I love that area. You guys will be out there a lot. If you haven't been out to Elizabeth Wild, it's going to look like Highlands Ranch.
These groups all hang out in the same place, right? Actually wrong. They're all right here, listening to radio commercials just like this.
5 acres, period.
County commissioners is doing everything, not everything that the voters don't want.
Yeah, he wants it. That they just want that tax revenue.
Everything we don't want, he's doing. And there's no one running against him. He's just the county commissioner.
I'll tell you what's crazy is you go out there through Kiowa and start heading to 70. There is nothing, man. That is like nothing, man.
Between Elizabeth, the backside of Elizabeth and Kiowa, Excel Energy's putting all their power lines all the way through there now.
Oh my God,
it's just crazy.
Fucking Excel. Excel Roofing putting up those power lines again.
They got all these Excel Energy's got all these heat pump programs, right? Can't get them. No, they're advertising all this stuff. Everybody wants heat pumps. Yeah, I got one. That's what I do though. You know?
Through the ground or up top?
Up top.
Are you part of their? You can do their rebates, right?
Yeah.
I got someone else who won't sign up to do that. Why wouldn't they?
They got basically obviously it's a full-time paperwork person.
So it's hard to get paid.
It's hard to get paid. The goods you got to jump through now. This year is really bad. And then the heat pump program they got going. Everybody wants a heat pump, and you can't get it. Just can't get it. They're all being shipped to Texas and Florida. It's a bigger market. I mean, I don't know. And we have some inverter heat pumps out there. Like I actually have inverter heat pumps, but their EER rating, their C rating's high, but they have an EER rating. And Excel Energy wants an unrealistically high EER rating, which most heat pump manufacturers don't even have. They just don't make it.
Too energy efficient.
It's ridiculous.
Well, they don't work.
Make it. Like it's not physically made. And you have to hit those to get a heat pump rebate. It's just like explaining this to these customers is like, which you don't. You just still.
Who's my electricity company out there?
Probably Ford. You know. Used to be IREA.
Are they easy? Yeah, go ahead, man.
You deal with insurance companies, I deal with utility companies.
That's my address.
That's your vacation.
And they can pick it up. That's usually where Littleton would used to pick it up.
We're really focusing on the green aspect of things.
Has this studio been redone at all or not? They didn't do anything.
Yeah.
We're doing more
Carpet. There's a work address too at this point.
New carpets.
Like they refresh. We should.
What is that smell like? No, it's like a Almost like paint. It's for the paint. Okay, shut up.
It's almost like paint because it is.
What's that? It smells like a fart. Oh, someone farted.
It smells like a
Yes, man. Yes,
You're a G away from being on Seinfeld.
Yeah.
You said ass man, not gas man.
We're back.
Big gas man.
All right, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome back. And here's what I want to tell you. 888 Heating. We're going to say goodbye to you. We appreciate you being here. Garrett's the owner. Plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. Right? All of those.
Nope. Heating, electric, and air conditioning.
Okay.
No plumbing.
No plumbing. Okay, fine. And let's talk about the gas thing again. Just look for his coupon in Money Mailer. And if you don't get the Money Mailer that I'm sending out, go to moneymailer.com, put in your zip code, and then search for heating and AC, and then look for his coupon. Scan the QR code, whether on the computer or on the coupon itself, and you can fill out that, and we will pick a winner for $500 in gas, and we'll do it on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Tommy.
And thank you. We appreciate it. And then Jay Bretz, I'm not finished with you, Monica. I'll go right back to you. Jay Bretz, any tips on the do you feel we're going to have storms? If we do have one, what are your tips?
Statistically, we're due for a storm. It's going to happen.
But I know what I have for tip, but I want you to hear what you have.
When it happens, I tell homeowners, take your time.
And do not, here's the easy thing. Do not accept door knockers, period. Now, if they happen to be a good roofer, you'll find them in your search.
That's right. That's right. Don't make any deals.
Never sign anything at the door ever. Ever, ever, ever.
No. And when they want to meet with your insurance adjuster, just tell them, no, I'm good.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't let them meet with your insurance adjuster. What they should do is simply, if they want to help you, tell them, no, first I need you. I need you to simmer down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hire a roofer. When you hire a roofer, you ask that roofer what you need. You make them tell you what you need from top to bottom before you call your insurance or before you have the adjuster. Then you know you can compare what you need with what the adjuster says. If the roofer meets directly with the adjuster without your input, I'm afraid, and I know you wouldn't do it, Jay, but I'm afraid they make deals with the adjuster. We've seen it. Let's say a roof was going to be $16,000 because it needed a bunch of stuff. And the adjuster says, nah, we're not going to do this, this, and this, but we'll do it for $13,000. Then you have the roofer say, yeah, I think that's cool. So that adjuster just made a deal. I mean, that roofer just made a deal and comes down to you and says, we got it covered. When really you don't even know what you missed.
That's absolutely right.
I hate when that happens.
And companies like Excel Roofing, we're going to make an Xactimate report for the customer, which is the exact same report that the insurance adjusters use. So we're going to tell the customer how much the insurance company owes them.
All right. So, Monica, I tried to find your previous call. Monica?
Yes, I'm here.
So tell me, what was this about Ivy Crossing? I'm trying to find it in my notes here.
Remember, I'm Monica over at Ivy Crossing. We didn't have no gas.
Oh, yeah.
No electricity.
Exactly. Yes.
Yes. Hi. So they did a swift evict on me.
What?
Right after that, Tom.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
What is a swift? Wait. What do you mean? Because you complained of no gas and no electricity, you're telling me you got evicted?
I am now renting a room at a lady's house.
What is a swift? Hold on. What is a swift?
I was out of there. I was out of there, Tom. They put me out when I got on the news. I was out of there. They came up and had the sheriff and everybody a week later.
No, but it's impossible to do in a week. Were you already in the process of an eviction when you called us?
I purposely went to the office twice and said I wasn't paying the rent. So, no, I didn't pay the rent. So, yes, I was probably on that list. However, they knew I wasn't paid.
Okay, that's what I need to know, dear. Were you in the process of a legal eviction at the time?
Yes.
Okay.
However, I've known the people that were evicted there when they were evicting people during the eviction time. it would take them up to 2 to 3 months.
Did we assign this to someone to work with you when you called?
I think she was back on rent, if I recall.
Yeah, no, she was. I remember all that. But she said she wasn't paying because of no gas, and so now you're renting a room.
Right.
Man.
In someone's house.
So is that the update? Now she's renting a room?
Yeah, she wanted to let us know that she was evicted. That's terrible, but she wasn't paying rent, and that's the wrong way to do it, unfortunately.
I think Windsor Gardens are all individually owned as well.
Were you renting from an individual landlord or from a complex?
The complex.
I think I went down there to talk to them.
Oh, yeah, you went to talk to them. Okay, hold on. Hold on, Monica. I don't think there's anything we can do about it if they went through a legal eviction. But if you want help finding a place, call us back, I promise. All right, folks, save all your problems for me.
This is Brett Ivinson with Ideal Home Loans, and the Fed continues to make their
Follow
move.
Tom Martino at Real Tom Martino and stay connected with all of us at 630.